Welcome to Storm King's Thunder, where me and a bunch of my nerdy-ass friends get together and we like to play Dungeons and Dragons.
Like to play what?
Dungeons and Dragons, dude.
Dungeons and Dragons!
Dungeons and Dragons.
Dragon.
Tonight we are on session 44 of our campaign. Previously, the Lords of Nightstone had boarded their airship, the Westwind Wyvern, to fly to the Cloud Giant Castle of Armaal. Finding it guarded by Griffin Riders and some Aarakocra seemingly crafted from snow, they managed to defeat the Aarakocra, befriend the Uthgard Griffins, and make their way sneakily down to the top of Armaal while the Griffins escorted their ship away, feigning combat so anyone who looked would think that they were driving them off. You guys managed to land on the top level, mostly unseen, quickly dispatched the few enemies that were at the very top, discovered the navigation orb, as well as Sansuri's private chambers, where you were able to raid some of her belongings, such as a couple of her exquisitely crafted masks, some potions, and some giant scrolls, as well as a very tiny chest, which I believe Josh, if I'm not mistaken, was able to identify as a necessary component to summon a different chest that had actual goods in it. You guys then made your way down, investigating the castle and raiding the booty you found along the way. You were soon discovered by Count Thullen, who you had wandered into his private chambers while he was in there, and initially not confrontational, was very surprised to see you all when he realized you weren't the Uthgard that lived downstairs, as he had originally guessed when he first saw Golbran. After some mild discussion and some hesitancy in sharing secrets and relenting, the Count not misty stepped, it's a cloud giant ability, but poofed into the hall, created a wind tunnel, blew you all out onto the lawn, and animated his 32 chess pieces to do battle with you. After a pretty long combat, primarily stalled thanks to Bergen throwing up the wall of ice, which bought you guys some much needed time and let them expend a lot of resources while y'all took down the queens and the count. You guys were able to get the count to a point where he believed that surrender was his best option and agreed to let you be, as if you promised not to harm him or the children and leave them be in the castle. You guys complied, and he holed himself away in what you know is a very small portion of the third floor that has a library, the children's room, and I think a lounge area. He did warn you that other giants were on that level, and there were several giants below, and the quickest, most direct route to get to Countess Sansuri was to fly down to the stables where the Uthgard Griffin had kept their mounts, and then sneak into the dungeon from there. You guys did, after messaging your mounts, which I thought was a very cool little twist to keep things a little stealthy. You guys flew down undetected, managed to scope out that there were still several giants left. I think you guys saw five or six on the way down. All of them with ballista at the ready, many of them, and that's just the ones you could see from the exterior. You gather they're very well likely or more inside. You guys then crafted a plan, a very excellent plan, and due to fate, just did not pan out quite the way we wanted to. Pandora was able to be turned invisible, thanks to G, and sneak inside to scope out the room where she found the Countess, torturing Felogolas, who is chained with 4 different manacles, 2 manacles on his back legs, a collar around his neck, and a muzzle around his nose. There were also 3 caged creatures, one of which appeared to be a lion bearing a crown, another a wyvern, and the third a specter of some sort, predominantly transparent and practically invisible. You guys had decided to do your best to try to unlock Felogolas, and when Pandora was discovered, to fire at and banish the Countess. But she unfortunately was just a little, what is that, wisdom save? Just a little too wise for you. I believe that picks up where we left off. Do we have any questions, comments, snide remarks?
I'm forever going to hear Aarakocra as Aarakocra.
Aarakocra. Aarakocra.
Aarakocra. That's how I'm going to say it. You've all been warned.
Aarakocra. The southerner is coming out really strong.
Go balls.
I do need some help running some of the PCs that are not here.
I've already got their sheets pulled up.
All 3 of them?
Yeah.
Wow, look at you, dude.
You can take one if you want, because 2 extra seems to slow me down a decent amount.
That is a good bet. I will take one, and Spencer and Josh, if y'all would like to take one, you're welcome to. I will take, I guess, Arcanox, if that's cool.
Let's chill.
I
You can also
never
take
ran another character before, but I don't know.
if you want to get in the saddle a little more, it's fine. I can run up to 2 without slowing things down too much. 2 extras, that is. You could also take Pandora if you want to just. Well, it doesn't matter. Either one of those, you can just do attack.
Who do you feel you would be the most comfortable with, Pandora or Arcanox?
Go ahead and give me Pandora and Davos because I think that
I
way.
was talking to Josh.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Oh, for me, probably I would. Yeah, maybe Pandora, because literally the go-to move is disappear,
Hide and
shoot something, and then if that doesn't work, scurry away as best you can.
Accurate. If you you should be able to go into the campaign and see the different character sheets, and you should be able to pull hers up. Go ahead and try that.
And I'll leave mine up, so if you know what you want to do and just can't find it, I can still hit the buttons and stuff. If we run into that any. Same for you, Joey.
Arc. Thank you. I appreciate it. I will take Arc, and Devin will be primary for Davos and backup on the other 2. Go ahead and roll initiative for me, everybody.
Don't make me do it. Davos is
nat 20.
I'm
on somebody else's roll, of course. I'm sorry, dude.
Yeah, that's Pandora. Let's see
the
how.
highest roll I've ever seen you roll. That's funny.
Oh.
Z's ready.
Ooh.
Oh, I hope you know what Z's gonna do.
Oh, you're right. And I think he's gonna beat her. She'll have a hard time beating a 19.
Do it, Z.
Mine is an Arcanox. That roll? There we go.
I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Well, we'll see.
Banish 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Excellent.
What's it called? I don't remember the word. That is there's a term for it somewhere. Like a technical term for like statistically the best idea. It's not RPG specific.
On a positive note, I only have 2 level 4 spells I want to use, and if Banished fails again, I'm just going to use the next one on my next turn.
Do it.
Fair. Can't talk. Sorry. Yeah, I am having a stroke actually. If I die, don't resuscitate. I died playing D&D. I don't see any other reason to.
It's funny you say that. Oh, this is not the version that I wanted, but that's okay. All right.
Bless you.
With that, we're gonna go ahead and start at the top. Pandora, Bad Kitty, just got caught right behind Felogolas. She has made a single attempt to try to unlock the rear manacles. She did not succeed in getting it off with a 17. So you know it's at least an 18 or higher armor class. What do you think Pandora would do in this situation, Josh?
Well, I know based on what we were playing last, she did want to say that she would like to attempt to continue unlocking the dragon while the rest of us, I guess, run interference. So I think that's what I'll do.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a sleight of hand check on her character sheet for me.
So, hold on. I could roll in... Oh, here we go.
I got you.
Wait, did that roll? Because I can't do it.
Mine rolled. Can you not... So did you...
Pop it up.
There you go. Okay.
Excellent. Yes. So we're gonna go with Devin's because it was first, because an 18 does not pass, but a 22 does. So you guys do have... I don't want the epic version. Fuck off. Alright, I'll fix that later. She does manage to undo one of the manacles on the rear of the foot, and as she does, Felogolas, who had previously not noticed her, perks up and shoots a glance behind her, and he will jerk his head toward as best he can toward his own neck, without trying to draw too much attention to her. Pandora can use her bonus action to hide or dash if you would like to.
I was immediately going to try to hide, so let's get that out. Is that a... What is that?
A stealth check.
It should be
Good gracious.
right below. Yeah, expertise, man. That's what I keep telling you.
No, yeah, it's fucking ridiculous.
22.
A 22, excellent. So I'm gonna put that over her token to help me remember that that's what she's got. And I forgot to get my dice out.
While you do that, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, me and Josh have been talking about classes. You can tell her expertise skills by those little rings around them, if you haven't noticed that already.
It does make sense, like a double proficiency.
Yes.
Or it's like expertise is double, and then I think she has it's bards that have half proficiency on everything.
Jack of all trades.
Yeah. Excellent, excellent. All right, Pandora did roll well into the highest. The next would be Archinox, which he, seeing that his captain is in danger. Oh, sorry. What was that?
Oh, sorry, I wasn't saying anything.
Yeah.
Sorry, I think I heard a weird echo or something. He is going to race in. He's going to go for 3 swings on this bad bitch. He's going to start with the Red Death's Rage.
I don't know where to put my sticky though.
Ooh.
A crit on the opening swing. That's excellent. A 22 does hit. Is that another crit? Shut the fuck up. Wait, why is one a 10 and one a... What? That's not right.
It doesn't make any sense unless does he have any kind of ability that means lower than a 20 hit? It's a crit.
No.
His
That
things
does
are
look
just
weird in the math. I'll fix that.
The plus 10
just
makes sense on that first one, but plus 10 on it, that's only it. No.
Yeah. So the first hit does the full 20 because I think. Oh well, no, because that's a 12, isn't it? It's a 12 plus 10. I see.
Yeah.
So neither one of those crit. He does the 26 damage. He's gonna try to make a third swing. This one has to be with his longsword.
ignore the rolls I'm going to be making for him. Oh, I'm sorry. I was getting ready to troubleshoot.
Oh, and there's a nat 1, so complete opposite end of the spectrum. And there's a burb.
Yeah, I might cut out. I'm just joining chat while I'm on the way to get Dan.
Nah, you good. We actually just had your turn in initiative. You unlocked one of the manacles on Felogolas' foot, and he tried to gesture to sort of signify to focus on the one around his throat, which is a little more exposed, but you managed a pretty solid stealth score. Right now, you're still hidden behind him with a 22. Ben just came in slashing and got 2 solid hits and managed to do a chunk of damage. And with that, I think she is next in initiative. Let me check this. Oh, she tied with Z. So Z, roll or excuse me, what's your dex score?
My dexterity is a 12 or plus 1.
She has a higher dex, unfortunately. So she is going to move first. Or actually, this being such a critical thing, you both going, either you banishing or she getting to make her first move, roll just a d20. Nothing added.
Okay.
We're just going to do some rollies.
Not even going to give this man an opportunity for odd or even.
Nah, gotta let him roll his own. Make it worth it. You gotta be. Oh, oh no! For this exact moment, you raise your hand and starts to do the banish as she slings her arm against the door and slams it shut. She then says, "Stones of Armaal. Wind that keeps us aloft, rain that pours down to form our clouds, and fires that warms our halls. Defend me, and all within this domain." And you watch as the stones on the floor begin to shake, before shifting, clambering, shattering, forming a golem of earth. You watch as the fire along the far wall becomes a humanoid figure. A barrel on the southern part of the room burst open with water as an elemental pours out. And in the cage here, but within a circle of runes, you see a small whirlwind pick up. And you hear a low cry of pain as an air elemental is drawn forth as well. They get their own initiative. And so now I will put this up.
And
I want to put it up.
And I guess none of us except Ark and Pandora can see that.
At the moment, yes, the door is closed. She's not like barred it, but she's broken line of sight. None of them get to move before the next person, which is Z. So we will proceed there. Z, the door has just been slammed in your face. What do you do?
Sideways. Oh my god.
For an initiative, the only option I have is I'm not strong enough to move this door by myself, I don't think.
You can make a check to do it. It's not a terribly high check, but you have to.
You can also hold your action to do something, and you could set the trigger for that when I see her, when the door opens, when X thing happens.
You can. If you do that with the spell, though, you lose your slot if you don't get the opportunity to do it. So if you say, when I see her, I do X, and you don't see her before your next turn, you'll lose your spell slot.
Or you can blip in there if you have a blip, but that's ballsy? Question mark?
Indeed.
Blip, and I don't think I have the. I'll try a check just to try and get the door open, so that at least nobody else has to waste their turn on it. Maybe.
Okay, so roll a strength check for me, or an athletics check.
God, it's not my turn. That's not how it works.
Stumpy trash. Oh, it's ultimate
Gotta beat
trash.
Oh, I'm sorry. You have to beat a 14 athletics. You still have your bonus action, but you cannot quite get the door open.
Yeah, whatever. I'll use a bonus action for magic stones.
Do it. And now we can get back on their Agni Kai now that we're having our battle of the elements. All right. I'm sorry. Did you have a bonus action, my good sir?
Yeah, I'm just gonna use it to make magic stones. I think it's the only bonus action
Cool.
I can take.
Okay. And with that, we are going to round. Our thing didn't pop up, did it? We're going to round to Bergen. What you got, dog?
The door's not open, correct?
The door is not open, correct?
Okay, I'm going to cast spiritual weapon just to get it right. Oh no, I can't cast it on the other side of the door, right?
You can't see it yet. No,
Right.
yeah. You can try to use your action to push the door and then cast it if you would like.
Right. Yeah, fuck it. What's that, a strength check?
It is a strength or athletics check.
Athletic.
You got to beat a 14.
Alright.
Bergen!
Excellent. Oh my god. Bergen comes in fucking like G is pushing up against the door, and try as he might, he is a sorcerer. He is not built for this. And Bergen just shoulder checks the door to give him that little extra burst needed. You guys both basically fall into the room and see Sansuri there with these 4 elementals around her. You see Pandora's eyes wide. You see Ark. The main focus of their attention is most of them can't see Pandora, looking surrounded and a little wide-eyed. Bergen with a nat 20, we're going to say that doesn't even use your action. Or you get to use your action and your bonus action, dude.
Fuck yeah. Alright. I am
Hey
going
there,
to...
picking up my man.
Yee.
yeah, now I'm going to... Shit,
Come back.
I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, spiritual weapon, bonus action, and then take a shot at somebody for my action.
Take a shot.
Let's do the 3rd level.
Bergen pulling out the big guns.
For real, though.
I just want to shout out Davos or Brandon, tell him I'm so proud of him. He has quite a few spells left. He has all his good spells left.
Good on him. We've been teasing him for a minute, so perfect. Excellent. A 12 with the spiritual weapon does not hit, but you do get to conjure it. If you'll pull it from the tokens tab, it's under where it says mounts and summons, and then you can drop it where you would like, and this way you can move it when it comes to time.
Oh, sweet. Look at this.
Yeah.
Okay, what?
So you've used a spell, but you still have your action to do what you wish with it. And your movement.
Alright, and then shooting maze
Shooty maze.
at... Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go and hit her.
Yeah, get it. Pop, pop. A 19. Excellent. That is a hit with 11 damage. Fantastic. Oh, whoops. I accidentally deducted 100 more hit points than I should have. There we go. Okay. As we wrap up with Bergen, we're going to round to Davos. Devin, if you will do that, I'm going to try to see why you can't see the turn tracker.
Let's see. Can I can do Davos. Give me just a second. I'll check at his token and stuff. He is. Can he see her from where he is? Does he have to move? It looks like he does.
He'll have to move up a little bit, yeah.
To there. I guess he can't end his spacing, his turn.
You're correct, yeah.
So he would step back to here at the end of the turn. I don't think he's going to use a spell yet. Oh, he might.
Well, before, I guess technically us two should
Light
be
'em up.
just inside the doorway now, right? Because we sort of tumbled in when he opened it.
That is correct, yeah. So you
that just
guys
give
can
you a
both
little
be
more-
on...
This
I
square,
would...
like in the door, quote unquote.
Yeah, kind of. Considering that he's up by the top one, I almost want to say the top one's the one that opened, but I want... I'll say that you guys together push the 2 doors open, so now they are ajar.
Just in case you wanted the extra spacing or angle.
5. He can't stop there, but 5, 10, 15, 20. And he wants to cast slow right here.
Oh, interesting.
Oh well, maybe right here. Let me pop it in chat for you so you can tell
If you
me
would, please.
how many I can get.
6 creatures of your choice within a 40-foot cube. So there's technically 7 creatures that you see. 2 of them...
Oh god, it's not a, but it has a range on it, doesn't it?
40-foot cube,
Okay.
which would be 8 squares by 8 squares. And I think that you're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, you're good. 8. Your 8 by 8 would fill the room more or less.
I see. So I'm just gonna get all of the elementals and her, or try to.
Excellent. Okay. What save is that?
That's not his, is it? Hold on a second.
Wisdom saving throw.
Yeah,
What's his DC?
I'm working on it. It is 14.
Hey, let me get all these whizzy wet wham wham wazzled.
Gotta find my sticky note. Whammy whazzle. Sorry, I felt like there was a lot of stuff going on, and if this works, it'll be great. If it doesn't work, we can try some other things. Next turn.
That rolled them up? There we go.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it only did. Animated dice take for fucking ever. Alright, so Countess Sansuri passes, the water elemental passes, the air elemental does not. So it is slowed.
Fire elemental does not.
Thank you.
I'll take it.
There should be one more.
The earth elemental looks like it does. 18.
Gotcha. Alright, so 2 of them are slowed, which is excellent. With that, we're gonna round up, or I'm sorry, he has the bonus action left if he would like to use it.
No. He hasn't handed out any inspiration dice, so Z, take an inspiration dice.
Is that a D8 right now?
I believe. I'll check.
Okay. Basically, you can add a D8 to an attack ability or saving throw, and you get to choose when you do it. So if you roll low, you get on that shit. With that, we're going to go to the water elemental, which, not slowed, is going to surge forward 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Does it only have 30 movement? It does have 30 movement. Interesting. Oh, whoops. Nope, that's the earth elemental. And what's a... Yeah, 30 foot. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. It's going to rush up here, and it can't quite whelm you, so it's going to try... it's going to slam into Arc, I think. It's got +7 to hit. It's going to make 2 of these swings. One does not hit. One's a 26. So I need you to take a good 13 bludgeoning damage. And you is me. Actually, Devin, if you'll put that on his character sheet, I'll go ahead and...
I can't do his sheet, or maybe I can do his sheet.
Or
I can't
token.
I can't do his token. That's what I was...
Try it.
Can't
Click on it.
edit it. Can't do anything to it.
Interesting. Try to drag a token from the wall over to the middle.
Got you. Roger, Roger. How much damage was that again? And you can move on.
13.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Excellent. With that, the air elemental, it is slowed. So its AC's dropped by 2. Its movement speed is halved. 5, 10, 15. It can slip through areas as small as a crack. It's going to go through the hinge of the door. And it's going to pop up here with the last bit of its movement. And Goldbrain, it's going to go for a smack on you. 2 smacks, in fact. A 15. Does that hit?
Yeah.
That's 14 bludgeoning damage. The other one is a miss. As we go to the fire elemental, who is going to make 2 touch attacks. It's slowed too. It may not be able to reach anybody. Only has... What does it have now?
Only gets 1 attack this turn, right?
Oh, you're correct. Thank you for reminding me of that, yes. I don't think it's going to reach them anyway. Let me double check its speed. Its speed is 50, so it's 25 foot. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Yeah, it's not going to quite make it. It's going to come over to this form here. And Goldbrand, what you got, dog?
Oh, no. That's not good. I was just thinking...
no, indeed.
I was just thinking that kind of hurt. I kind of want a wild shape, but I did not have time to pick a jigger.
Like a jigger.
I will wild shape I will bonus action rage and wild shape into a polar bear. I like to think that I'm gonna use a polar bear stat block, but I like to think he wild shapes into a blue bear.
Of course.
So, oh man, they're on either side of me, huh? Hey, okay, go. He's gonna wild shape, turn into polar bear. So y'all watch Goldbrand literally for the first time, I guess, the whole campaign. Hits his bloodweed, and all his veins stick out, and he kind of and then transforms into a bear. I would say 8 to anywhere between 8-10 feet tall. Very much picture like a blue-ish furred grizzly bear, and he will attack. Man, I want to hit the water elemental first. They're both gonna swing at me no matter what. Oh. Hold on. I can't roll from the screen, so I have to improvise.
Let's see.
Because I'm in roll 20 and not... Sorry, I get to make 2 attacks. Both have +7 to hit. So, did the second one roll?
I rolled 3, actually.
Sorry.
+7, you got a 22 and a 14.
I'm assuming both
and
of
you're
those...
attacking the air elemental?
The water elemental.
Okay, with the... It's not slowed. Oh, no, both of those still hit. You're good.
Okay, here's both D8s. They both get +5, so add 10 to that. And I'm raging, so add 4 to that.
I was about to say.
Damn.
So 15,
Angry
15, 19.
Angry.
Excellent.
You know, the whole trope, the whole point of the class, 40 episodes in.
No, yeah. You watch as Goldbrand, his hulking form, hunkers down, and the cloak sort of like seems to meld into his skin as fur erupts down his arms. He extends several feet higher. Bluish black fur bellows out as it lays into... Oh, Devin, tell me this. These are not magical attacks, are they?
Probably not.
Dramatic spike in music.
Oh no.
As you find it does not do quite as much as you wanted it to. It seems that it's resisting the non-magical attacks. Interesting. With that, we're gonna round... I'm sorry, that was your action, bonus action. You still have your movement while you're doing that. The Earth Elemental is pissed. He's gonna come over here. He's gonna take a couple of swings on Davos, I think. And he hit hard. Oh, that's 2 25s. That is 28 points of bludgeoning damage. Devin, if you'll pop that on there for me. As we round back to the top of initiative for Pandora and Ark on deck.
Yeah.
Pandora, you've undone one of the manacles. You're behind the dragon. You're hidden with a 22. What do you choose to do?
Okay, so it was kind of motioning that I needed to get the chain on its neck, right?
It did seem to try to indicate that, yes.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna listen to my big old homie here, and I'm gonna try and unlock that one. Then go back.
Okay. First, I need you to make an acrobatics check because you've got to climb the dragon to get up to this. It's quite a ways up off the ground.
Okay, let me see if I can pull up my Beyond.
I can roll for you if you want. I already have your sheet pulled up. It's up to you.
I can.
Oh, I
I
forget you're so mobile.
Yeah, no, it's okay. Ben just put up. I can roll. I think it'll be in the D&D Beyond, but I can roll it. You said acrobatic?
Acrobatics, indeed.
Okay.
But you should have pretty solid scores in.
Yeah.
Yeah, boys.
See if
Famous last words.
Let me see. 24.
24, excellent. No, yeah, you very deftly managed to almost having an intimate knowledge of draconic anatomy. Managed to climb your way up very quickly onto the back of it, rush up, and you had your legs upon its neck, and you swing under to the bottom where the lock is. Make a sleight of hand check for me.
Let me scroll down. I might actually have to get someone to. Nope, there it goes. Okay. So. 26.
26, excellent. It clicks off of him.
Good.
And now I need to add +5. Excellent. You hear him like a low growl, and he goes, "Good work, lass." With that, we round to Ark.
Oh,
Ark,
do I need to hide again? Can I hide again?
Oh yes, you do still have your bonus action to hide again.
Yep. Tuck under its wing, baby. For a 25.
25. No, yeah, you gone.
Jesus.
Excellent.
And Ben's here, so now he can whack at it.
Oh yeah,
Which is what you did last turn, apparently.
Oh well, that's what Ark does.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, dude. What you want to do?
All right.
There's 4 elementals now?
Yeah, there's a water elemental to your right, a earth elemental to your left. There's a fire one in front of you, Countess Sansuri in front of you, and then an air elemental back in the hallway. I'd say the earth, water, and Sansuri are the 3 that are within range. You're kind of boxed in the center of the doorway, so you don't really have a whole lot of movement opportunity at the moment.
Full disclosure, you did take some damage earlier too. You're at 55 hit points currently. We can't put that on your sheet, so I have it on a token here.
5 for Urge. Let me swing at like the 2 people closest to me that aren't there.
The 2 elementals.
2 elementals.
Gotcha. All right. So roll 2 swings with the Red Death's Rage, or would you like us to do that for you?
You'll have to do that. I can't do that from me right now.
No worries. I have it right here. 2 swings with the Red Death's Rage.
Bonk
Ooh, first one's kind of low. 13. Second one's 20. And did you say water or earth, or one of each?
1 of each.
Okay. You can only hit 1, I will say, because one of them you rolled a little low. So which would you prioritize?
Yeah, let me hit the water one, and let me also spend a charge too.
Oh yeah. Which one do you want to do? The one that deals extra damage, the one that you get to spend a charge to roll a hit die, or the one where well, that one's a range attack. Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, I cannot hear you, my dude. Hello?
Yeah. The extra damage.
Extra damage. Gotcha. Okay, so they have to make a con save for the water elemental.
Extra damage charge. Yeah.
Did that roll 2 1s? Oh, that's so sad.
Damn.
And it rolled a 19, so it only takes half an. On a brutal swing of luck, the water elemental not only passes its save, the extra damage only equated to 2. You got a 1 on both d8s, which is very unfortunate. I'm sorry, my dude. You managed to lay into it a little extra. You still have your bonus action to swing with your longsword if you'd like. Did you hear that, Ben?
Yeah, go ahead and fuck that water guy up.
Get him.
Fuck him up.
Alright.
Yeah, hit the water elemental again.
Yeah, 23 to hit
Just
and
fuck
9
him.
damage. Excellent, excellent. Alright. As we round back around to Countess Sansuri. Sansuri, having made her primary action, a little frustrated at all the attention she's getting. She sees that you've slowed several of her people, and she casts haste on herself.
Oh, fuck her.
She is concentrating on this. Also, Davos is concentrating, Devin, if you'll put a little thing
I'm
on
doing
his
that
thing.
now.
Thank you, sir.
You reminded me.
You're a bastard, I get it. I understand. She is focusing on that. She does get her extra action and double speed this turn. She's going to go for her attacks. She's going to make 2 spear attacks. She has a 10-foot range. I think she's going to try to pop one on Bergen, one on Z. Z, you're the shiny one. That's an 18 to hit Z, and that is a 15 to hit Bergen. I don't think the 15 hits.
The 18 does hit.
Okay. Josh, you're going to take 21 points of piercing damage as she stabs into you with this 20-foot long spear, and it catches you like in the shoulder, like it pierces clean through. We are going to round to Zarok. You've just been stabbed.
On that round, because I don't like being stabbed, I'm actually going to attempt to use telekinetic reprisal.
No, yeah, go ahead. Reaction to push her away, or
it's strength save. DC is 16. I guess I can roll it out here.
Well, she has to roll the strength save.
Right, and then she would take that much force damage if she fails that.
Yeah, that's that good shit.
Excellent.
And it moves creatures of all sizes.
Yeah, tapping into the power that the Amethyst Dragon had bestowed you with, Countess Sansuri fails her save with the +8 modifier, so that's no joke. And she takes the 7 damage and is pushed away. I think it just says away from you 10 feet?
Yeah.
As she is pushed away, she's almost slammed into Felogolas. Felogolas, who is still chained on one foot and has the muzzle around his mouth, grabs onto her with his 2 forearms, and you watch as this crackling lightning builds up within his muzzle as he blasts down on her with an incredible breath weapon. He is going to... She has to make a dex save. He's holding her, so she's going to make it a disadvantage.
Eat him.
That was clutch.
Save the dagger.
That might be the single coolest D&D moment I've
That
ever
little
experienced.
push, dude. That little 10-foot push. That was.
Oh, an 8 and... Oh, God, the dice roll's so fucking slow over here. Oh, and a nat 1! Oh, damn! Christ!
I can't see. Oh, no, I see.
Which one do you take?
You watch as he bears down with this incredible thunderous force. And even with the muzzle blocking the majority of it, it still arcs and scatters and claws its way through her. You see the mist that makes up her hair is like blasted back. You see the clothes upon her are singeing and starting to burn. The very skin around her eyes and mouth is cracking with the intense electrical force of this damage. And she is taking... Oh my god. 66 lightning damage.
Jesus Christ!
As this is happening, I just want to flex and be like, this is what happens when you make friends with a dragon. Because I just used that draconic ability.
Yeah, no, 100%. Oh, god. Wow, fucking bow.
Yeah.
Excellent. So he lays into her with this full blast. That does take his breath weapon, and mark that down as we're gonna round to Bergen.
That was just my reaction.
Z.
Now I'm gonna
Yeah, you're right. Hit it.
Okay. I think I'm just gonna do a. Actually, I think it's a 10-foot. If I cast a shatter here, can I get both of these guys? It's 10 feet.
10-foot sphere or 10-foot? What does it say?
A 10-foot sphere, yes.
So it's actually 20 foot because it's a radius. So basically 4 squares up, 4 squares down, whatever you can fit in there. It does apply to your allies as well, so you got to be a little cautious.
Okay, so if I cast it, yeah, because I don't want to hit my friends. I think. Is that right? It's just, yeah, it says 10-foot sphere. I don't want to hit my buddies, and I don't want to hit my buddy dragon over there. I'm trying to think. There's nowhere I could put this.
You might hit some of this shit to hit her, which doesn't shatter specifically break things.
Well, it can.
Yeah, but I don't even know what these guys are about right now. Sorry, give me just a sec.
No. I appreciate the caution.
I think he's got a little one that just showed up.
Oh,
I saw a chitlin in the background.
Chitlin.
Yeah, my son was coming to tell me goodnight.
There we go.
Oh,
Excellent.
nice, it popped up.
Yeah, sorry, it took me forever to figure out why it was fucked up.
Yeah, I don't know. I hate to waste the space on it, but I would almost rather cast it like almost over here into the wall in an effort just to hit this guy if I can.
Okay. And you know that he has disadvantage on the save because he's made of stone.
Right, and that's the whole reason I want to sling it back that way. Like I just sort of threw a telekinetic burst in this direction, and so I'm going to turn around and shatter this direction.
I will say you could probably get... I get it's kind of weird with the dragon spacing, but I'll say you can get the fire and the earth elemental without getting Felogolas.
That's what I was
anybody
trying
else.
to do. I'm not really worried about hitting her. I was mostly trying to hit this guy, and if I could catch the fire elemental sort of in the blast radius, then I was going to go for it.
Yeah. Excellent.
All right.
And what was that save again?
Let me
Con?
cast it. Well, that's not what I wanted to do. So it is... Actually, yeah, it's Constitution.
Con
That's
save.
what I did want to do.
Okay. The elemental doesn't have disadvantage because he's slowed. This one does have disadvantage, but he has a +5 to con. So, oh, but it pays off. Both of them fail. Take the full 13 points of damage. Pop, pop, pop. You watch as some of the stones that came up from the floor to make this elemental sort of crack and crumble a bit. And the fire seems buffeted by this incredibly this shockwave essentially. Excellent, excellent. Bonus action.
No, I don't have anything to do there.
Okay, excellent. I did Felogolas' turn earlier because there was an opportunity to be cool moment, so we're gonna skip that and go to Bergen.
Spiritual weapon's going to attack that earth elemental.
Get it. All right. Pops him. Oh, a 16 does not hit, unfortunately, my dude. He is a stout boy.
And action. Going to cure wounds on Davos.
Excellent. 24. Solid buff. All right. And I know he has at least that much because he used to have 69 hit points, so that's good. Bravo. Excellent. You can move if you would like as we go to Davos. Devin, what you got for Davy boy?
Oh boy, did Davos take any hits while he's concentrating?
He actually got a hit. He actually got some hit points back. I don't think he's taken a hit since yet.
Okay. Man, he wants to get away from that elemental, but there's nowhere really for him to go.
Indeed.
So he will probably try to smack it twice, is my best guess. Takes most of his action economy, right?
Indeed. The Earth Elemental?
He's gonna Light of Lathander first. If he still has one. Cone, right?
Yes, sir. I think it's 20 feet now. So 4 squares.
He has this is his last one. 4 squares. At the furthest? Can he get all 3 of these guys?
He'd kind of have to move in a little bit. Like, I think if he... Well... Yeah. We'll argue since there's partial squares here, he can back up enough to get to 3 of them without getting Arc or Felogolas. I'll make all 3 of them make the save. Is it a Dex or is it a Con?
It's a con save. Hold on a second, I'll play. There you go.
Oh, whoops. I did 2 with the Earth. Oop. Ignore that second one.
Oh my god, it does so much damage now too. Holy shit.
No, yeah, it got a buff recently. I think all 3 of those fail. They do. Excellent. So they are going to all be blinded, and I'll take the 15 points of damage. So that's his bonus action. He still has his action.
He's gonna go to town on the rock. Oh,
Wayne,
he's
did the
gonna
rock
try.
Thompson?
There's some kind of rock and roll joke here that Brandon could make that I cannot.
Oh, God.
Definitely.
Where the fuck's my blind? Where the fuck's my blind?
Is blinded by the light a joke here
Oh,
because of
yeah.
light of the
No, yeah. One we've made before. He
Okay.
bears in with the Blade of Night Arambor. Well, actually, no, that's his first strike, because that's just the advantage. Roll 2 more, motherfucker.
2 more or 1 more?
It's 1 more hit with advantage, so 2 more rolls. Don't even need it.
Oops,
Another 11 points. Fantastic. as he blinds and tears into the fucking tears into the earth elemental. Excellent, excellent. Anything else for Davy Boy?
I think that's all it's got.
Okay, excellent. We're gonna round to the water elemental. Wait a minute, I thought I blinded you. Bitch, I said be blind. There we go. Alright, the water elemental is actually going to rush over Zarok. It's going to whelm you. I need you to make a strength save for me, my dude. Oh, and it's creatures within 5 feet. That's everybody but Davos Pandora. Yeah, everybody but you two. Make a strength save. Devin, you do have advantage.
Can someone roll for Ark?
I got you.
He's getting set up.
Strength
We're
save?
As a
Save?
note, I don't know
Strength
why,
save.
but on my character sheet it says I have advantage on that's not right.
Advantage on strength saves?
Yeah,
Something might give it to you, but I couldn't tell you off the top of my head.
I don't know
If
why.
you hover over it, usually, like, if you click on it, it'll tell you like where it comes from. Bergen fails, and Z fails. Both of you are sort of pulled into the space of this creature. I need you both to take 13 points of bludgeoning damage, and you are both grappled and restrained.
Interesting.
I apologize. I have to make that with the bear's roll, not mine.
Oh, you are correct. Is that second one the bear roll?
No, I haven't rolled with that stat. I'm working on it. That's what the bear rolled.
That's so good, so you're fine. Excellent. So you two are currently you watch as almost like a water dropping into a bucket in slow motion. The water expands out, lashes onto Bergen and to Z. The other two of you back away quickly, and as it pulls itself back in, it pulls you along with it. And you are both trapped within it, unable to breathe or move properly. With that, we're gonna round to the air elemental. The air elemental is going to go up a little bit. 5, 10. It's gonna slip underneath the door. It is slowed. It only gets one action. It's gonna make its whirlwind ability. So I need Z and
I don't think it can use activated abilities.
because of slow.
Yes.
Let me scroll up and look at the thing.
Or I can put it in
And
chat.
it gets one action. I know.
You have to. I think it's.
It can't. It has to use either its action or bonus action. It doesn't get to use both. Can't use reactions. Can't make more than one attack.
Let's sleep. Whoops.
If it's a spell with a casting time of one action, it has to roll to see whether or not it happens on this turn or next turn. Maybe that's what you're thinking of.
Yeah,
This
maybe
is
I'm
not a
mixing up.
spell. This is a creature ability, so I don't think that necessarily applies. So I need Goldbrand to make a strength save, and I'll make Ark make the same one. God, the two worst people to roll these checks against it. And by worse, I mean worse for it.
Say Goldbrand, I'm sorry.
Indeed.
Oh, hold on, that's not the bear. This is the bear.
Oh, a nat 20 by Ark.
Damn.
The 8 does
Ooh.
not pass. Devin, you take 15 points of bludgeoning damage. You're moved 20 feet back. So you slam into this cage. And because you moved 5 feet, you're going to take an extra 7, and you're knocked prone.
Friendly reminder, the first one is rounded down to 7, and the second one is rounded down to 4?
3.
3?
Yeah, because we round in your favor. So only 10 points of damage. Thank you for that. You are prone. Excellent. The fire elemental also slowed. 5, 10. Oh, it comes up. It doesn't know that Orc has fire resistance. It's going to burn into him. It's going to try
Don't
2
do.
swings. A 14. Does that hit you?
Nope. Are those at disadvantage?
Nope. Because it's slowed. You are correct.
Or it's blinded
they
too,
both-
isn't it?
Oh, God, yeah, this one's fucked. This one's not having a great time. Excellent. No, it is still blinded. With disadvantage, it didn't hit without a disadvantage, so we're not even gonna roll that. But you watch as this this flaming humanoid rushes up, and it sort of tries to tackle into Ark. And as it flames lick your scales, they just fall apart, fall back helplessly. You don't. It doesn't seem to make any damage. With that, we're gonna round to Goldbrand.
Oh man. Too bad I ain't got no AoE. It don't matter. I'm a bear. Which one of these two looks the worst? Because I'm just gonna do the thing.
Elementals, they're both about the same. Neither one is bloodied or battered or anything.
He will go
One
for
of them-
the water
one of them
elemental
has your
because it has
friends in
his
it.
friends in it. Oh yeah. Did I do? Nope. Sorry. That was dumb. Here's the bite. Here's the claws. Wow. Rude.
Neither one of those hits, and because you rolled a 10 or lower, Wheeler woe.
Whoa.
It is woe. You are good. As you tear into it with your claws, which again, the non-magic does not seem to be doing a whole lot of favors for you here, but you come dangerously close to slashing into G, and you gather that if you're not careful, you can harm your friends while they're whelmed like this. We round to the Earth Elemental, who is blinded, and having just been blinded by Davos, he's going to make a couple swings toward him at disadvantage. Gets to add 8 to this. 12 does not hit a Davos. Ooh, that one might. 17, which doesn't hit Davos. So he slams in blindly, and while he cracks the floor, he does not manage to make good purchase. Pandora, you are on the wings of Felogolas, having undone 2 of his 4 locks. He has just torn into Sansuri. What do you do?
So he's got one on his hind leg and one on his muzzle, right?
Correct, yes.
If I want to undo the one on his muzzle, do I have to make another check since I'm already on his back?
No. The check was more to climb up it rather than to... Since you're on it, we'll say that you move forward proficiently enough. Even if it's difficult terrain, you get up there.
Okay. I'll have to roll mobily because my Firefox decided it wanted to update.
No, go ahead. We said earlier that you sort of wrapped your legs around the neck and swung around to the bottom to undo the lock. So I like to think you just crawl up further on the bottom, like climbing under its neck and going up to the head to undo this.
Spider cat.
Basically. Roll a sleight of hand check for me.
Sansuri's like, what the fuck? As lightning rains down upon
Damn, a nat 20.
A nat 20, girl? Ooh, girl, roll some damage. Or no, I'm sorry, this is for the lock. The lock, he has just blasted lightning through this. It was pouring through the cracks in the muzzle, arcing off of everything nearby. And as he finally draws a breath in, trying to regain his breath, you lock it away. And you see this smile crawl across his face.
I pat him on the muzzle, and I'm like, good boy. Girl.
You know, like that good spot, like just under the chin, and give him a good scritch, and he's very appreciative.
Between the scales, I know exactly which way to rub it.
Yeah. Oh.
I don't like this, whatever this is.
Brand needs an adult.
Ark, what you got, homie?
Alright. Let's see here. I'm gonna do a swing at the air elemental and the water elemental.
At the water elemental, what was the other one? The fire?
Let's do both.
Cool.
Okay, with the red die.
Right. Oh, are you on your setup now? Cool.
Yeah, I'm set up now, yeah.
We'll use your rolls, because both of those hits. Roll damage for each. 13 points, we'll put that to the water. And 9 points to the fire. Excellent. You still have your third attack, but you have to make it with your longsword.
I'm gonna hit the water elemental with my longsword.
Cool. Roll to hit.
Oh.
Oh, you don't hit it, but thankfully you don't miss so bad to where you risk slicing up Bergen too much. As we come to initiative count 20, on the third round, the door within the stables opens, and 2 cloud giants emerge through it. A man armed with a terribly long longsword and a woman with a spear. Both of them see what's going on, and let me throw them into...
Shit, I didn't make my stealth check.
You can do that now, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. I'm working mobily here.
No, you're good.
So excited by that nat 20.
Yeah. They use their movement to get there, so they can't move any closer. Did it not include them on the fucking thing? It didn't, did it? Okay, well they would go on initiative count 20. They're gonna go at the same time as Sansuri does. Do they have a ranged attack? Oh well, they use their dash to get here, so no, we're good there. Sansuri, seeing that this is going against her, but knowing that she is hasted and feeling a little cocky because of it.
Hey, should she have to make a check for that concentration since she literally just got blasted?
And it was
she-
66 damage.
It was. She can't pass it. No, you're correct. The wave of lethargy hits her and she loses her turn.
Damn.
Excellent. Thank you for remembering that.
Get wrecked.
No, for fucking real.
You're technically
Yeah,
correct. The best kind.
You see, as she again, Felogolas has her within his claws and is just borne down on her with this full might. Her head like falls over toward you guys, and you see like part of her skin has been torn away, and you see like the bone beneath. She is looking rough. She is bloodied.
Good. Doggity bit.
With that, we go to Zarak. What you got, dog?
Can I see past the cage here? Like,
Yes, the cages you can see through. You are also
I'm grappled. I can't do grapple.
grappled and restrained. You can try to get out. I think it is a strength save, but I will double check that. Water elemental. Yeah, it's a strength check. The DC is a 14, I'll tell you.
Alright, cross your fingers. Hey!
Yeah! It does use your action, but you manage to pull yourself out of it, sort of grabbing onto the bear in front of you, grabbing onto some of the shag as it reaches in, and sort of help yourself pull out of it. You still have your bonus action.
Can I use, with that action, can I use movement after that, or am I just like happy to have gotten up? Okay. I want to like try and move behind him, and then I'm also going to declare to the party that I'm not doing so hot.
I will tell you this. You do. There's 2 opportunity attacks that happen against you if you move back there. I will let you decide if you still want to do that, but.
No, I don't, because I don't know if I can, depending on the hits. I mean, I'd probably survive them, but I'd be in very bad shape.
It's risky biscuits.
Now might be the time to blip if you have one.
The problem is I can't use it as a bonus action.
I see.
I think I'm just going to have to say that's my turn.
Is your blip Misty Step? Because that is a bonus action.
No, the only sort of any kind of blip anything I have is Blink, which is a traditional spell use.
See.
Can you use sorcery points to cast it this turn anyway?
Quickened magic?
Guess you can do that because
You
technically
would
I
make it
didn't
a bonus action. You didn't
cast
cast
a spell. That's the only reason I haven't been utilizing this more. I guess I'll try it.
You don't have to cast that
No,
either
go
if you would rather cast something else.
No, I think I will give that a go just to see. Actually, wait a second. I do have a bonus action that I would like to utilize on something.
Get it.
Give me just a second. I'm going to bring out Kaya.
Yeah, get it. You can drag her token from the summons tab under the journal to be able to manipulate her. Who are you sicking her on?
I'm gonna sick her on. You know what? I'm really pissed off at this water elemental for just trying to like murder me in water. So I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, that's fair. Excellent.
Where are you, old girl? There you are.
All right. She big spoopy girl. Go ahead and make her attacks because I think I know it says that she gets to move at a different initiative. We're just gonna make it yours for simplicity's sake.
Okay, let me pull up the direwolf really quick and I'll.
It's turning into Sharn Barn in here.
You're right though. At least this one's spectral. A 14, unfortunately. Oh, that just beats the water elemental. No.
Hell yeah.
So it does its 9 points. Oh, whoops. That's not what I meant to do. Oh god. I don't know what that was.
You don't fucked up.
I did.
It's okay. We're also cowering over here at these other 2 fucking cloud giants. And whatever all
rough idea.
whatever all that shit is that's transparent.
No, yeah. That's annoying, but okay. Alright, the strength save.
13.
13. I'm gonna tell you, its strength isn't bad, so we'll see. Does it have advantage on strength saves? Oh, it rolled shitty though. It is knocked prone. Somehow, it grabs onto the water and pulls it.
Does it knock it off of Bergen?
It's knocked prone. If it were a critical failure, I might say yes, but I don't think so with this. It is I don't even know how a water elemental would be prone. It's not like they have legs.
Listen, man, okay.
Oh, it might be immune to prone. Hang on. It is immune to being prone.
Well, that sucks, but okay.
But no, at least you got the damage on it, so good on you for that. Excellent. Felogolas gets to go now. He's already used his main thing. He is going to claw into her.
Get him!
One
Get him,
shit,
dragon friend!
One's a 27. He's gonna do 12 points of slashing damage as he again sinks his claws into her even more. And he gets a third attack, which also hits. This one's the other one though. Excellent.
I was gonna say, be free.
It has the muzzle off, so it can use its bite action with this one,
Yeah.
which does more damage too. Again, it sinks its claws into and goes to try to bite her on the neck. She flails her arm, trying to back the creature off, but her sluggish state from her own spell failing her is not doing her any favors. Bergen, you are currently trapped within this water elemental. What you do, dog?
So I gotta make a strength save to get out of this? Yeah.
Correct. It does cost your action, or you could try to attack from within it, but you're restrained and grappled. Oh wait,
Okay.
restrained you can't make attack actions, can you, Devin?
I don't think so.
Okay. You want to go ahead and try to force your way out?
Yeah, I think that's really my only.
Okay.
Actually,
14.
correction. You can attack, it's at disadvantage. Everything against you is at advantage.
So you use your attack action. It does not, or excuse me, use your action to try to pull yourself out. You do not quite manage to make persons. You do still have your bonus action to manipulate your mace if you would like to.
Can I cast a spell as a bonus action?
Yeah, as long as it's a bonus action spell, 100%.
Okay. I will cast. Where's everybody again?
All around
Sort
you.
of within your. You can touch
Yeah,
Arc
kinda
and Z
around.
from where you are. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah.
Oh, can I? Would I be able to actually like reach out and touch if I'm
We'll
all?
say for the purposes of this, you can't pull yourself all the way out, but you could reach out to lay a hand on somebody.
Piss. Well, I can't do that as a bonus. So as a shit. To use the, well, it will probably tell me. Let me look. To use the Pearl of Power, is that a action or a bonus action?
I'm not 100% sure, to be honest.
Let me see.
I know it regains the spell
An
slot. I
action.
don't recall. Okay.
Damn, man. Yeah, I will pass my turn. Or no, sorry,
wanna
I
swing
will.
with your-
Yeah, I was gonna say I'll take a swing at the rock elemental with my mace.
Cool. Go ahead and roll the hits. He's pretty stout. You have to hit a 17. Oh, 24. Excellent. Fantastic. All right, as we go to Davos. Devin, what's Davos doing?
The first thing that Davos will do is he will call out to Felogolas. You're not going to like to hear this, but we really need to keep her alive and get the fuck out of here. And then he will keep
Make a
swinging on
persuasion
the...
check. And good on you for mentioning it, because he was tearing in. Davos' persuasion's pretty solid, so this should go well.
I'm really glad that I don't have to do this as Goldbrand, because I would have to unwild shape and everything.
Oh yeah. You just yells at it in bear. Excellent. You look as Felogolas grits his teeth a little bit, but he loosens his grip. He's still gonna wail on her, but he will make sure that she's alive.
No, that's great. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do Green Flame Blade. Oh,
On the stone,
yes. Is it blinded? Does he get advantage for those?
it is no longer blinded. It's
Oh,
blinded for
Got you.
I think until the end of his next turn. So it only gets 2 rounds of blind. The second one misses. The first one does hit. And it is, I think, officially in bloodied territory now. The stone is cracked and crumbling a bit. What does he do with his bonus action?
I was thinking about smiting, but I don't think I have a spell slot for it. Sorry, there's so many decisions, and I don't know. He will not smite this turn. He's gotta wait.
Excellent. The water elemental, at the start of its turn, Bergen, you're going to take another 13 bludgeoning damage, and it's going to try to whelm a second person. I'm inclined to say, since Z pulled away from it, it's going to try to get Z. Wheel or Wozy?
Wheel.
It is odd. I'm sorry, my dude. Woe, indeed, as it tries to thrust itself upon you. Make a strength save for me. You need to beat a 14. Or, excuse me, you need to beat a 15 when it's making it. It's a 14 to get out.
Got an 18.
18, excellent. It does not manage to take over you, and it wastes its action trying to do so. Kaya, even though she can't grip on it and rip and pull prone like she's wanting to, is still managing to do a good job. By the way,
just imagine a shadow dog like turning into almost like Milky Shadow trying to fight invisible water.
Also, check her. She may get to make 2 attacks. I'm not 100% on that. But as we go to the air elemental, this one is slowed. It's going to make an attack on Ark and only gets 1 of them. It gets a +8. Oh, and it's a nat 20. Ark, take 28 points of bludgeoning damage as the air elemental tries to pull your breath from you. The fire elemental to your side, frustrated, seeing that you do not seem to be affected by its fire. It's going to do a couple things. It's going to move into Davos's space. It's going to try to catch him on fire. And this is a passive thing. This isn't even its action. Oh, and it just takes it.
Yeah,
Davos takes 5 points of fire damage, and he is ignited. At the start of each of his turns, he takes 5 more damage. That's not an ability, so it still gets to make its 1 attack. That does not hit. Since Davos took damage, he has to roll a 10 concentration check.
You just say a 10 concentration check. That's a con save.
Yes, sir.
Oh, it was close.
Oh, barely, but no, he manages to maintain. Also going to make a little marker on him that he is on fire. Excellent. With that, we round to Goldbrand.
Goldbrand has a lot of decisions to make.
Yeah.
Indeed.
What the fuck? Oh, sorry. I may be editing the fire token and not Davos's token because
You did 67 minus 5, so 62. I got you.
Yeah. Well, I want to do it. Sorry. All right. Goldbrand will. Oh, how much do I want to close the door and fight these giants until all 3 of us are dead?
You're also still a bear.
Yeah, that's the point, though. I have so many hit points.
At minimum, stand in front of me, you big hulking turd.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it. He's got to come here to make any attacks anyway.
I will say, if you would like, you could use one of your actions to try to pull Z away from the battle. Because he's looking pretty rough. And he's just, for the second time, tried to be whelmed by this water elemental.
So, like, 1 attack action? Or, like,
One
is that action? I see. Like, I'm grappling.
Yeah, 1 attack action.
I see.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
No check even needed, because, you're a 10-foot polar bear, and he's a sorcerer. Up.
Oh, no, yeah. I wish I could talk to you. I'm thinking about dropping my shit, because it's not playtime no more.
Playtime no more.
Goldbrand, I think I'm going to do it anyway. Goldbrand sees the 2 giants, drops his wild... Like, Goldbrand whoops back down into Goldbrand, grabs Z, does the tank swap. Like, I don't want to say lifts him, but, hauls him out of the way and switches places with him as he takes out his scythe, and he's going to call out to the group, more giants. We need to get the door closed and get the dragons out. And he's going to use his 1 other attack action on one of them 2 feckers. Is anybody whelmed?
Bergen is whelmed right now.
Alright.
Why is nobody ever just whelmed? You're always overwhelmed or underwhelmed?
This
When
is
you said whelmed. Sorry. When you said whelmed, I assume it wasn't going to be that bad. I was like, I mean, it's not an overwhelming force. Hopefully, this is a very mild experience. No.
Yeah, you're drowning. 7 points of damage. You're welcome to pop a charge on that if you would like.
+2 for rage. I will not do that this turn.
Thank you, sir.
Removing my temp hit points.
Boop. Excellent. As we round to the Earth Elemental, who, quite pissed, is going to lay into not Bergen, Davos. 2 swings. Ooh, one of those is in that one. But let's do the other one first. What does he get to add to that? A 17 does not hit. Davos is almost untouchable, and it's fucking annoying.
Finny.
He will. Finny and the Jets. Fuck, what was I doing?
This one's actually.
He rolled in that one. If he rolls odd, he'll hit the fire. Oh, he does. He smashes into the fire and does 14 points of bludgeoning damage to this motherfucker. Fantastic. We round back to the top of initiative. Pandora, you have gotten all but one lock off of this, off of the dragon. You could continue to do the final lock. You could continue the combat. What do you choose to do?
I want to slide down its back and tail to get to that last lock. That's what I'm going to do. We're going for it.
Roll a sleight of hand check for me.
Maybe, if it'll load.
Did Goldbrand close the door successfully? Is that what you were doing? Did you do that?
I wanted to, but I don't think I had enough action economy. We need to get everybody inside.
And I was about to say, you've got 2 people on the other side, so.
Damn.
Well, did that roll? I didn't see it if it did.
Yeah, it rolled. It was a 12.
Oh, a 12 does not break the lock, unfortunately. You're tinkering with it. And the good news is, you feel safe back here. Like, you know, okay, nothing's gonna fuck with me, like, with this big fucker in the way.
Good.
There is still 1 lock on Felogolas as we round to Arc. What you got, homie? You've got 3 elementals on all sides.
Also, my computer's freezing up, but I'm gonna go ahead and hit that water elemental again because I don't like him.
Get it. Do you need me to roll for your thing, or is your?
Yes, please.
Okay,
I'll
cool.
go for my computer.
Loop, loop.
Boop, boop.
One of them. Okay, 20 definitely hits. Gonna roll damage with that. That nat 1, that is not great because he's gonna have to, with the nat 1, I'm gonna roll woe at disadvantage. So I'm gonna roll 2 die. If either one is odd, then it pops Bergen. A 5 and a nat 20, of course. Fuck you.
You tried so hard for that not to hit me. I appreciate it.
A 4. So 6 damage total, or excuse me, 10 damage total, Bergen. As you take just a little bit more, as he's beating this water elemental, and his follow through is just a little too strong, and a couple of the spikes of the beat stick slash into you. Third attack. Would you like to make it on the same target, Ben, or somebody else? One more time.
My bad. So we're going to look at the same target.
Okay. Bloop. Roll a 19, which I think for you crits, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be 19 points of damage as he lays into this fucking thing. The water elemental is looking very hurt. It's like Jello that's been left out too long and is starting to get a little liquidy. As we round to Countess Sansuri and the other giants. They are not happy with what they see. The man is going to come up. He's going to come to Kaya. Where is the spear? There it is. That's a 20 and a nat 20 against Kaya. So that's, oh my god. That's like 60 points of damage.
No dogs allowed.
No dogs allowed, indeed. Kaya, rip, you were loved. Yeah, she gone. And then 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. The other one comes through the corners. He's gonna make 2 swings on you, buddy. Out of curiosity, what's your AC?
16.
16. They have to beat a 4 So I'm gonna be honest. The odds are not in your favor. They've got an 80% chance to hit these. One's a 3, so there's that. One is a 7 though, so you do take 21 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
Does that put you down?
Hang on.
No, go ahead.
I'm gonna use a reaction. I believe I can use that to cast shield, right?
You can. It raises your AC by 5.
Yeah, is that enough to beat that? It is.
That is, yes. It will put you at 19. Is that correct?
I'm gonna do that. It's worth it to burn the spell slot.
Or 21. No,
Well, he
for
says
sure.
16. That puts it. Yeah, 21.
21. So yeah, you are clear. You watch as the first thrust comes in, and you sort of stumble back. And as she goes in for the second one, you throw up your hands, and just a little dome of flame pops up between you and the spear, and stalls her just enough for you to slip away. Countess Sansuri.
Then I want to add a little flavor text to that. Like I just saw the
please.
dog disappear, and then this guy comes and tries to take a stab at me. So as I do that, I'm now sort of like visibly, maybe for the first time the party's ever seen, like pissed off. And sort of up through my forearms and up to my elbows, like my body is beginning to crack in what looks like almost molten lava, beginning to flow up through my arms. And I look over and say, "How dare you swing at her like that?"
Beautiful. The tension is building as we go to Countess Sansuri. Oh, she can't get as far as she would like to, but she is going to use her Misty Step ability.
Oh damn!
She's gonna get.
The Stavos. It's not a counter spell thing, is it?
No, it's a class of creature ability. She technically gets here. She's gonna pull further away. So Goldbrand and Z, you're both gonna get an opportunity attack. Bergen, you will get one as well, but it will be a disadvantage. 5, 10, 15, 20. Or actually, she's gonna stay here for a second.
I look over at. Can I do this here?
Plus
I look
2
over
rage
at
damage.
Goldbrand and say, "You wanted to keep her alive? Why?"
We need her to open the things that we has. We need that fucking shells. Since she's right there, give us the fucking shells and you can live.
She looks at you. The conch, Heckaton's conch. That's what you came here for.
Oh, sorry.
You have no
yeah.
idea what's at stake here. Your conch means nothing to me. She pulls away. Those other two people, Z and Bergen, you both get opportunity attacks. Bergen at disadvantage. Z, if you have Warcaster, you can use a spell, but I think.
I don't.
Oh, Bergen, that does hit her. 17 does hit. So you do get 17 points of damage.
I will take, if I'm allowed to, I had those magic stones sort of pre-prepared. I might just flick one over that direction.
I'll allow that, yeah, because you could technically make a ranged attack with that as well. So go ahead and roll to hit on that.
Let's see.
I think it's a ranged spell attack. Yeah, 19 hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
Damage on these. Oh, that's terrible. Well, it's 5 for each stone, so whatever.
I was about to say, that's, yeah, not bad. You ping her, that's the important part. She's not concentrating at the moment. But you watch as she throws out her hand, and the temperature drops very quickly. You see ice begin to form on the floor. A blizzard picks up in the very center. We're gonna say here. It's 20 foot. Let me look at that one more time to be sure. 20-foot radius. So that's 8 squares across. She's gonna get everyone. I think everyone except for Pandora and the 2 cloud giants. Yeah. I need all of you to make a dex save for me. Ark, are you up and running on your end yet, or would you like me to roll that?
Give me like 2 seconds.
The
Cool.
best one I've ever rolled.
You needed it at this point. And you ain't out of the woods yet, by the way.
Man, Davos
Is there anything I
doesn't
could
have
do to take negative or 0 damage here, legitimately, or is this like a half or whole thing?
It's a half or whole. There are certain things like evasion that would let you get.
You would take another
only
half
taking-
of damage. You would take like a
Yeah, so
quarter
if you
of damage.
if you fail, you only take half. If you pass, you don't take any. But that's like a rogue class ability thing. I'm gonna say it's in this area. Oh, Felogolas has got a roll for that too, doesn't he? He's got pretty good dex, though. He rolled well, yeah.
I can't wait for him to rampage.
Okay,
Oh boy.
Ark, I still need one from you. I'm gonna go ahead and do the damage on...
Say it again, Ben.
Go ahead for me, Joey, if you don't mind.
Gotcha, yeah.
I can get you.
If you... Yeah, that would be helpful, thank you. Bloop.
And
alright,
that might be on full throw. Okay, cool.
Oh, okay. I've got bad news, guys. I think almost all of you failed. Alright, so Ark, Z... Ark and Z, you guys just take 10 points of damage. Everyone else takes 23 points of damage.
Goldbrand's is half twice. Cold and rage.
Twice? Oh, yes indeed. Or, well, no, resistance doesn't stack. Because your rage gives you resistance to it. So you do get it halved to the, what is that? 11 damage? And the water elemental begins to freeze with Bergen inside of it.
Oh,
I also have a resistance code.
so you'll also take 11.
Okay, so yeah, you can take half as well. Oh, but you got a nat 1 on it. We won't do anything funky for that. So instead of the 23, you take the 11 points of damage. Did you mark off 10 points for Ark? Either Devin and or Ben?
I can put it on my token.
This terrain, or this circle, is now difficult terrain, meaning it costs double movement to move through it. And this thing is freezing. There's not a good icon for... Oh, there we go. That'll work. Beginning to freeze with Bergen inside of it. Oh, it jumped again. That was Sansuri's turn. Okay. As we go to Zarok.
If I move, is this shithead gonna get any kind of attack on me?
Yeah, and I'll tell you this. You know that their arms are long, their weapons are long. Both of them, not Sansuri, but the other two, you're both within their range. Within both of their ranges.
Okay, then here's what I'm gonna do. Before I move or do anything else, I'm gonna shout across the room at these guys and sort of at her. You think you're the only ones who can play with elements, and I'm going to cast a wall of fire from this corner straight down to this cage to sort of bisect us from these two tools.
Excellent. They have to make a save against that, yes?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and roll it.
Yeah, go ahead and roll the damage, and that'll show me what the save is, too. I'm sorry, I'm rolling some ice damage for these other guys.
And I think we can re-roll some of those as part of my feature, right?
Indeed. Yes, up to... For the feature, since it's fire damage, you can re-roll any number of them, I think, for the one that you just got. Devin, I need Davos to make a con save, because he got peppered by some of that ice storm.
He has advantage for some reason. It's listed on his character sheet. Particularly,
dex saves?
Dex saves? I'm sorry.
Or no, con save, I'm sorry.
Yeah, he has advantage on the con saves.
Does he have Warcaster? That's a thing for them.
Perhaps. I don't...
Okay. Nat 20, he passes. Excellent.
Is there any way to figure out exactly what I rolled in that roll?
Yeah, so if you
I
mouse
see
over
I can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I rolled 3 1s. I'm gonna re-roll 3 d8.
Okay, fantastic.
Solid idea.
So it's 11 plus whatever you roll for those 3. 25 points of fire damage. They both have to make a dex save. Their dex isn't super great.
And
This is going to pop up as Sansuri, but they're
because
have
now
the
they'll
same
start
dex.
their turn in it, which will be great.
A 19.
That was
2
clutch.
19s. Ooh.
Ow.
Okay, so they pass. Do they take half? Is that correct?
Yeah, with this spell, they do take half, and then at the end of their turn, any creature that's within 10 feet of or inside of that wall, every single round has to make that save.
At the end of their turn? Did I hear that correct? Or the end of your turn?
Yeah, each creature that ends its turn within 10 feet of this side of the wall that I choose, so obviously I'm going to have the sort of damage going this direction.
Gotcha, yeah.
To segregate us. then yeah, anything that ends within 10 feet or inside of that wall will have to take that damage again.
Very cool. I will say, since there's a wall between you, I will let you move away without them getting an opportunity attack.
That's exactly what I wanted to do. Is it? And I wanted to ask this while I was drawing the line, because I can make this up to 60 feet. Can I have it come through this cage, like downward?
100%. Yeah, you can see it. You can totally cast that.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and have that come all the way down to this point.
Go ahead. You also have a bonus action if you have anything to do with it.
I don't, but since I will no longer get an attack of advantage on me. Oh, that's the wrong item. How do I erase that?
Ooh, you good. I love that you guys used Wall of Ice and Wall of Fire in this dungeon. That's
I
Yeah.
had
duality.
That's 15 feet of movement to get there since it was rough terrain, so that got me just outside of this circle. I'm assuming that puts me sort of clear of this a bit.
Correct, yeah. And I will say that is just the terrain. There is not an ongoing storm in there anymore. Like, you're not going to be continuing damage, but it is difficult to surpass. The ground is slick.
Okay.
Bonus action?
Bonus action, no.
Okay. Felogolas, a little disappointed that Sansuri has slipped out of his grasp. I don't know if he's going to be able to get through there moving through all of you. I don't think he has enough room to get clear on the other side. Oh, and he's still chained on one foot. That's right. He can't move, even if he wanted to. His muzzle is off.
Can he attack the chains?
Yeah, I was
Oh,
wondering
he
that
did
before.
get a 6, though. Devin knows what that means.
Oh.
He's
Yeah,
got his breath weapon back, recharged. So this is a line 90 feet long.
He's
He's
gonna
going to
smoke her.
center himself up. He can't quite get her without getting some of you, but he's going to get the Earth Elemental and this Cloud Giant here. Both of them have to make dex saves. Cloud Giant, fails. Earth Elemental, he might get a resistance to this since it's electric damage. Let me check that. Nope. Dex save -1. Let's see what he gets. Ooh. Oh yeah, perfect. So both of them fail and take the full 66 points of damage. You watch as, again, earlier his muzzle was on and it seemed relatively contained, but now it streaks across the entire room, all the way into the stables, across the cages, one concentrated beam of lightning with arcs dancing across the room. They blast through, decimating the Earth Elemental, tearing it to literal shreds. And the Cloud Giant takes a very hefty hit.
My dragon friend.
Barbara's still back there trying to pick the lock. Bergen, you are inside a freezing elemental. If it stays in this area for one more turn, it will be frozen solid. You've got to get out. What do you do?
I guess I make another save to try to get out. Wait, hang on.
If you could think of something creative to try to get out, I'll, we'll give you advantage or something, or maybe even the spell or ability gets you out, depending on how it's used.
Could I shout over at him that maybe it's a little easier to break out of him because he's freezing into ice, like shatter versus liquid? See if that gives him advantage.
Or maybe you could use the ring. Use the ring, Frodo. I don't know if it will help, or if there's any spell that might help you out with it that it has.
I think so.
But oh man, can I? Oh, I can't help him out.
What you thinking, Bergie boy?
This is a weird. Too late. It's not my turn. I have an inspiration die. I would donate it if I could.
I don't think you could do that, unfortunately, but that's sweet thought.
Alright, so features, gonna use Channel Divinity, Preserve Life. I'm assuming, I don't know what Z's max hit points are, but he can have up to like half of them back, whatever it is.
So Z, how many do you need to get to half?
Do some quick math.
Quick maths.
Thought that was everybody you could see in a certain.
I would need to get up
You
to
could-
36,
Okay, what are you at now?
15.
Okay, so you would need 21 points. You can take those 21 points. Bergen, I think you get 60 or 50.
50, yeah.
50. So you still have 24 points of healing to dole out as you choose.
Let's see.
Oh, I take the 21. That's confirmed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Arc
it's-
is Arc
it's just
under
21.
50.
You get 29 points. Sorry.
Hey, look at
Arc,
her.
are you
Oh, I'm at 17, my man.
17 or 70?
No, 17. I'm not.
Yeah. He gets the rest.
So you get 29 points to put you 26, 46 points. As long as that's not above half, and I don't think for you it is.
No.
Bergen, in this moment where the elemental seems to be freezing over, you use your time to try and aid your allies. I will say, you get to swing with your mace because you did a healing spell, and if you hit with this, you'll get a free chance to try to bust out.
Does that count as action? The channel divinity.
Normally, yes.
Okay.
Or well, it should say if it's an action or a bonus action, or it may be a bonus action. For that much healing,
Yeah.
probably not.
Action. Yeah.
Yeah. But you get bonus action shooty mace.
Yeah, I will do it. You said swing.
Yeah, swing, and if you hit, you'll get a free chance to try to get out. Oh, even better. Hang on, no. So you watch, Bergen, you're in this elemental that has consumed you. It is freezing along the edges, and you feel your heart pounding. You're getting colder, and even with your resistance, you feel as the ring glows, begins to freeze out an area of itself, and you swing your arm out, shattering part of it away, slam into your mace, and this water elemental, frozen even faster by the effects of your ring as you bludgeon it into fucking ice chips, my dude. You decimate it. And are free and get probably a very deep breath after that, I imagine.
Oh yes.
Been under water for like 3 rounds.
That was badass, holy mans.
Indeed. You have your movement. If you move the... Oh, you can't take reactions, actually. You can move. Davos the Dawnbringer. He takes 5 points of damage and has to make a con save.
Okay.
While that's happening, I'll look over like almost like borderline emotional, and I'm like, what kind of maniac tries to heal me while on the brink?
Bergen.
That's what he does.
Pushing that. You're right.
Davos
God.
will. Nah, that is Bergen TM right there.
Oh yeah. I just want to
man.
say you got max damage on that, by the way. I was like, I didn't think you could do that much because it had 20 hit points.
Oh,
and
I
I'm like,
did, didn't I?
yeah, you got both
Oh.
8s on your d8s. Broad
Gotta ask
fucking
if
vote.
Bergen's shoulders hurt from carrying the whole fucking party.
Every fucking dungeon.
Bergen best
Not
healer.
with these heals, they don't.
Cleric of the year. Best cleric in Faerun. So he doesn't want to step out of his range, but he wants to get out of his space. Is that possible?
Well, this one is slowed, so he knows that he can... Oh, did he pass his check, by the way? He has to make a constitution check because he takes 5 points at the start of his turn. Has to beat a 10. Oh, and he does not. So his spell finally fades as the elementals lose their slow. You can take off concentration on him. He is currently on fire. It takes an action to douse himself.
Action to douse himself.
Or he can continue doing what he's doing and he'll just take 5 at the start of each of his turns.
God damn it.
Yeah.
You check one spell.
Unless the spell's playing water, I don't know.
Nah. I was looking at hypnotic pattern, but that's gonna get a lot of people. I can't place it just where the elementals can see it, huh?
It doesn't work on your allies, yeah?
Well, it says each creature in the area who sees the pattern.
Oh, then yes, it would.
So,
I don't think
hold
you
on.
could get it anywhere.
That's
that they...
weird though, because I just read something where I thought that did not work on your allies.
says
But
each
that's-
creature instead of each enemy.
That's not how it
which is-
reads.
Yeah. Who sees the pattern? I guess people must rule that allies can close their eyes. But
Yeah.
5, 10, 15,
There could
20.
be a warning or something like, no, and then
Yeah.
throw it up.
Yeah, good not voice. Long story short, this is not something he can see. It's within range. It's within range of 30 feet. He's gonna cast it right here.
Hypnotic pattern?
Yeah.
Okay. Beyond the wall of flame, you watch as it's almost like the sun catchers you used to make as a kid and hang up in your window. Like stained glass pouring in from every direction fills this entire space as these three giants have to make a what save?
Wisdom 14. I think
This first one's gonna be for Sansuri, and these next two will be the other two giants.
Yeah, I forgot their wisdom was good. Sad face.
Yeah. It's a DC 14 save. Yeah, unfortunately, none of them fail. That's unfortunate. He has a bonus action.
I don't think he can do anything with it this turn, really. He can lay on. Can he lay on hands as bonus action? Go ahead. If he can, I'm going to. So go ahead.
Okay, take a look at it. The water elemental is dead. The air elemental, it can pull back without getting. It can pull back without getting an opportunity attack on it, and I think it's going to do so. 5, 10, 15, 20. And it flies, so it does not have difficult terrain. Z, you watch as this whirlwind tears through the frozen ice fields and slips up behind you. And you feel almost a telepathic presence, like it's trying to communicate to you. Do me a favor, make an insight check.
Okay.
16, that's solid. You feel it. This is not a normal elemental. You fought the invisible stalkers upstairs, and those were versions of air elementals. This has an undead presence about it. It is not natural. And that's not... Typically, when you slay an elemental, it is banished back to its home plane of existence. An undead elemental is something that you've never heard of. And you get the sense that it's being controlled by Sansuri against its will. It was brought into this circumstance. With that insight, it doesn't make a strike on you. It seems to pull away from the combat.
That's actually crazy. Get out of my head, because as soon as it got up behind me, I was going to ask if I could ask it if it was doing this against its will, because I remember you mentioning that it sounded like as they were conjured that it was not a pleasant experience.
And while the others were pulled from the stone, the fire, the water, this one seemed to be a spirit that was bound within this cage to begin with, that she just pulled from it. It wasn't made just from air, it was something pre-existing. Wheel or woe, Z?
I don't know, wheel.
It is woe, so.
Biscuits.
No extra effects at that point. The fire elemental is going to try to once again rush Davos. He's going to take 5 more points of fire damage. And does a 21 hit?
Meets. No, it does hit. Meets, sorry.
Does a 20 hit?
No. Oh, yes. Sorry, I just...
So he's going to take 20 fire damage plus the 5, so he takes 25 total. And he is still on fire. This night is on fire.
25 total?
25 as we go to Goldbrand.
Okay. Honestly, I'm thinking about walking through your wall, just fucking up those giants.
Would be pretty badass. Technically, it only says if you end your turn. Oh no, it says if you enter or end your turn. Never mind.
Yeah, and technically I was going to make the clarification that if they try to move through the firewall to you, once you enter the wall for the first time, you also have to make the check or take damage.
Yeah.
So you're going to get damage.
The good news is I don't have to move to hit them. Thank you, Big Scythe.
If you have
range,
legitimately
slicing through the flames.
you can
Talk about
set
hellfire.
your
Jesus.
heavy metal and just swing
Yeah.
through the wall at them.
No, that's probably the plan since I'm raging. They're probably both about the same. I don't know if it matters which one I hit. I guess I'll start with the one on the top. Nah, this one's closer to Z. Let's start with this one.
Okay.
The other
Alright,
guy's
dude.
gonna go through me first.
The 15, I don't think hits. It does actually. Roll damage for that one as well.
So I'm gonna pop one charge. That's
23.
plus 4 damage total for rage. Also, I can't add charges.
Thank
I think
you.
when you edited this, maybe something got changed, but I can't change charges at all on this weapon.
You can't add them or you can't
Both.
remove them?
Both.
Interesting. Are you attuned to it?
Yes, I'll double check that, but yes. I take 13 healing. That's
Interesting.
Goldbrand's turn.
And 13 extra points to this bitch. One, excellent. I'm not going to say that number out loud. Pandora, you were back there fucking with the last lock. You could try to continue with it, or you can try to continue the assault. What you do?
I'm definitely trying to get this dragon loose because if it's loose, it can cause more mayhem. So,
Absolutely.
So
Roll another sleight of hand check.
22.
Fantastic. With a fourth and final click, you hear the heavy manacle hit the stone.
Yeah, buddy.
And Belgalis standing up fully straight now, his wings outstretched. Perhaps 50 to 60 feet tall. He's actually, seems almost too big for this chamber. His neck is not fully extended. As he, you've seen it like How to Train Your Dragon where it like shakes like a dog, and I imagine it's almost something like that. As he is free for the first time in months. I see you popped your stealth check. Ark, the two elementals beside you have just fallen. There's a fire elemental attacking Davos, two giants behind the wall, as well as the Countess, and a third elemental down by Z. What do you do?
You're on mute, my dude.
I'll note for
Hold on,
you.
let
if
me
it's
check on him.
helpful, similar rules probably apply to you that did to Devin to an extent because they're within, like, literally just on the other side of the flame wall. I think even having 5-foot range might hit them. I don't know. It's up to Joey.
I think technically the spell occupies a 5-foot space, like it's a 5-foot by 60-foot line or whatever. Double check the spell wording.
Yeah,
but
it's 1 feet thick, so I don't know if that's helpful
1
or
foot.
hurtful. And I was surprised to see that it was a very thin line that was very
Yeah.
tall.
I would say they could get behind it and swing. Without the extra range, though, I would say maybe at disadvantage. Since, they can't fully put their arm through it, they have to pull back a bit. Arcanox, can you hear us, my dude? Barbara, did your husband die?
He just came in from the chickens.
Gotcha.
You there?
It is... Yeah, can you hear us? Just rounded to your turn. There's one fire elemental attacking Davos, a wind that seems to have made its way down to Z, and then 3 giants in the next room. What do you do?
All right. See here. Okay. Dragon Fruit. Alright, run me up and go attack the fire elemental to assist Davos.
Excellent. Go ahead and swing.
If you've got it pulled up, I know he's having.
Yes, sorry.
Yeah, let me see if I
Okay.
can.
Don't roll less than a 10. Actually, you can't roll less than a 10. Because you have a plus 10. So fantastic. 13 meets on this particular one, so both of those hit. 14, 9, 23 points of damage. Excellent. This thing is in battered territory, under 25%. You still have your third swing. Would you like to make it as well? I think you said swing. Is that right?
With his bonus action.
I can do my bonus action now.
Yeah. Cool.
Actually, for my bonus action, I'm going to use my action surge to get 10 more hit points.
Get it? No, yeah. Excellent. Action surge or second wind? Second wind's the one that gives you hit points.
Second wind.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Go ahead and add those to your character. And with that, we round to Countess Sansuri and the Giants.
The Nindy
It's if they
band.
end their turn in that space, correct, Josh? Within 10 feet of it?
So yeah,
Actually, 20.
I reread the spell. The way it works is if they end their turn within 10 feet of the wall, or like if they enter the wall at any points.
I
Like
see.
if they try to walk through it towards Goldbrand, they'll have to roll or take damage. Or they'll take damage either way. The only way they don't is if they move out of 10 feet within it from that side, or if they get through.
Okay, so the upper cloud giant is going to make 2 swings with its spear through the wall. Has 10-foot range, so I'm going to say it's losing a bit. I'll say it makes them at disadvantage. They still have a pretty high chance to hit. This first one is at Bergen. A 14 does not hit a Bergen. Second one, oh, that's going to hit. Bergen, take 21 points of piercing damage. These next 2 are going to be at Goldbrand. 3 plus 4 is 15. Does that hit a Goldbrand?
Yeah.
Okay, so you take 10 points of piercing, and then the second stab.
5 points.
No, that was already halved.
Hurt.
It was 21, half of 10. And then you're going to take 10 more. Yeah, 10 more as a 16 for the second one. They are going to back away. This one, 5, 10, just far enough to get away from the intensity of the heat.
I get to hit one of them. Both of them. No, one of them, because reaction.
One reaction, yeah.
I'll hit the one that I was already working
The
on.
bottom one, I think?
Yes, yes.
Cool.
Get him.
Plus 3
Excellent.
for rage.
17, 19 points of
Hey,
damage.
oh, never mind. Okay. I should have pulled them instead. I'm dumb.
Sansuri, sorry. Did you
Ooh, yeah, that would have been cool.
Yeah,
pull them into the fire?
yeah, I
Wow,
should
that-
have. I
love
should have
it.
telekinetic reprisal them. But that
Black
makes a
hole.
reaction. Yeah.
Blacked him. Sansuri looks up. She sees all of you behind this flickering flame wall, which, while this is a large wall of flame, she's 35 feet tall, I think, 30, 35, somewhere around there. So she is towering above it. And she sees Goldbrand, Bergen, Ark, and Davos. She extends forward a hand, and much like Felogolas' lightning blast earlier, a bolt of lightning tears across through all 4 of you. I need all 4 of you to make a dex save for me.
Damn.
DC of 15. It's 100 foot long, runs all the way into the room.
Use lightning bolt.
Yep. Bergen passes. Who else do I need? Davos? Well, yeah, okay, so Bergen, you take 14 points of lightning damage.
Damn.
Oh, are you? Damn! The rest of you take 28 points. Goldbrand, you do take 14, yeah. But Ark and Davos take 28 points of lightning damage.
God.
As she blasts through this space. Also, the elemental has to make a save too, and if it fails, it's gonna die.
Did you say 28 points of damage?
To Davos, yes.
Davos
14
is
for Goldbrand.
down.
Oh no.
Oh god, I've got spicy armpits
I'm
now.
just saying, I picked up with the 20 hit points.
Yeah, for real. Great call. The fire elemental fails and is also shredded away.
Fuck him.
Excellent. Ooh, give me chills. All right, so we've got 2 people down. That was Countess Sansuri. Z, it is your turn.
You might want to get serious, friends. We need to close this doors.
Yeah, we need
Goldbrand
to
screams.
bunch up.
Is that? If that's what we're doing, Can I even make it with it being difficult terrain? I don't think I have the movement to get inside that door.
5, 10, 15.
Can you get to me? I can drag you the rest of the way.
I
next
can
turn.
get just to you, like right here.
Do me a favor, Z. Make an Arcana check.
Dokes. That's a horrible roll for a +5.
Damn,
yeah.
Z, you're having a rough night.
Like,
Make one more. I'm gonna say you have advantage for a reason, which will become evident if you pass. There we go. You feel again this this presence, and while it is an undead presence of this elemental, it is not an evil presence. You know that elementals are primarily neutral. Especially as a Ganassi, you probably have a better understanding than most. They are not good or evil. They typically serve the bidding of whoever conjures them to this realm. And you begin to try to make your way across the ice, and you feel this sort of gust of wind as it assists you. I'm going to say that it lets you move unimpeded through this, as it pushes you beyond the doorway.
Is it following along with me? Okay, good.
Indeed, yes.
In that case, I've used my movement. It has to be willing, I think. Can I use message as a cantrip to see if I can communicate with it lightly?
100%. You get
Okay.
25 words, I think, for message.
I'm gonna cast message, and I'm going to say, I can sense you mean no harm. Can you tell me who you are or what you are? That's 18.
Excellent. I'm gonna have you make one more check, a persuasion check with advantage. Excellent. Don't even need to roll the second one. Fantastic. You reach out to this elemental, and again, no physical form made of just swirling air. You see more of the dust and the things that are caught up in it, the fragments of the earth elemental that's now fallen, bits of moisture from the water elemental, and you hear it respond. Sansuri bound me to this plane, slaughtered me, and used the Nightstone to do what had been undone. I am but a ponder, but you carry many such spirits. Since we're in the middle of combat, I think that'll be the only thing that it says for now. Message in action or a bonus action?
Technically, that is an action.
You still have your bonus action. You still have some stones, I think, too.
Yeah, I have some stones. I can't really do much with those with a bonus action, but also there are no other combat creatures in here, and it sounds like we're just trying to get in the room and close the door. So that was why I focused my movement on just getting in here and then trying to figure out what this dude is.
Excellent.
While that's happening, though, I do sort of shout back to the group. I agree with Goldbrand. Get inside and shut the door. Please don't attack him. He's with me.
Okay.
That's
I did not hear that, Ben. Sorry, what?
no, just talking about football.
Also, is that wall a concentration spell, Z? I don't think you've taken any since you've cast it, but I'm curious.
Yeah, double check. I don't think I have either. I think there was there was an attempt, and I think it's when I used shield, but I can't.
Yes. There's one miss and you use shield for the other.
And I think that was the last time something actually attacked me.
Is it concentration, though?
It is constant.
It is concentration.
Okay. I'm going to put this little token here so that we know you're concentrating, so when you're hit, we need to make saves for that. We round to Felogolas. He, just, good show, lads. What's the plan?
Hole up in this fucking room. At least get our...
You-
Oh, man, I don't know. I was
He
hoping
looks-
he could lead the charge.
You look at him, and he was injured when you got in here. He was not, by any means, at full health. He is again, a dragon, you know, very resilient. He's not on death's doorbed, but he is beyond battered. I'll tell you that to see if that sways you one way or the other.
How many people are here?
How
many?
the creatures?
Okay, let me just spit this out. And this may only really make sense to Bergen. I wish Brandon were here. What if we just shut the door and call Safine and tell her we need to go now?
Mm,
You know that the nightstone's still on the roof.
am I conscious?
Oh, Bergen's still down! That's right!
Oh no.
And so is
Davos
Davos.
too.
Oh no.
That's why we kind of tried to get away from combat for a second. But nobody has
Yes.
anything to get them up immediately.
We're going to shut the doors and pick our friends up.
If we shut the door, she's not going to Misty step in here, is she?
Yeah, we really need to break line of sight. He might can take some more of her spells, but not many of us can.
No.
Felogolas, hearing this, dips his head, rushes forward, and slams the door shut, bracing them from the inside. He sort of pulls all of you aside with his tail as he does it. And we'll say that between the heat of the firewall, the lightning spells being cast around, that the ice has mostly dissipated on the floor. He is bracing the door for you. For a moment, we are out of combat. Or no? Because they're still going to try some shit, yeah.
And
Damn.
since it's his turn, it sounds like we're at least having a small amount of just a micro banter. Can I ask him if he knows what's up with these last two unopened cages down here?
Yeah, because I can go help him.
He goes, the wyvern she captured and was trying to tame. The Sphinx, she was trying to question it, but I cannot say to what end.
Friend or foe? Question mark.
Was, foes of Sansuri, which is all I need to fucking know.
Get him out!
I'm willing to go schmooze them. Give them the good pettins.
We're gonna go to Bergen and Davos. Bergen, you lie on the floor, the water from the elemental still all around you, still partially encased in the ice that you had just freed yourself from. And you felt so incredibly cold. The coldest that you felt since you've worn the ring. Do me a favor, roll a wisdom saving throw.
Damn.
Yeah. Oh, very good. That is exactly what you fucking needed. You feel the chill of the ring sort of gripping you. And then an overwhelming sense of warmth as Ember ignites, bearing its last bit of life energy, erupting in flame as this phoenix transcends into nothing more than ash and egg. And you are prone on the ground, but you do have 24 hit points, and it is your turn.
Yet. Alright. Let's see here.
I love that fucking birds.
Yes,
Fucking real.
seriously. Okay. Woof. Man.
Indeed. Spicy pits all the way.
Yeah. Alright, so first things first, let's get Davos up. And we are like still technically in combat, right? So I have to
Correct,
use
yes.
these. Okay, use these turns and move wisely. Alright. Up, I'm going to Davos, and I am going to probably hit him with. Actually,
Is Davos still on fire?
We'll say politely, since he died, that he was extinguished at that point. But it's funny because technically the lightning bolt ignites too, but I thought it would be rude to light a man on fire on more fire, so
Extra fire.
we'll say as the dragon like swooped with its wings and its tail to push you guys out, it extinguished the flames.
alright, action. I'm going to do my last Channel Divinity, Preserve Life. I don't know what Davos's max hit points are, but he can have half of them back.
He can have 32, 33. Oh,
More than that.
38, 30.
38, there we go. So I know he had 69 at one point. That's the only thing I know about Davos. For the longest time, he had 69 hit points. So 38, that still gives you 12 to use as you see fit, Bergen.
And let's see. I'm gonna give Ark, are you at your half point yet? For hit points.
Do you hear that?
I might have to go harass him. Oh, hold on. Let me roll off the bed. Make me get up.
As we wait for that aside, I just realized we did this entire combat encounter down literally one whole player.
Oh, he did not hear you. Hold on. Okay, go for it.
What do
Bergen was asking if you were at the halfway hit points.
Halfway. I am under halfway.
Okay, you can take up to 12, or you have 12 to take if that gets you to up to the half. Just can't go over.
Excellent. Still have bonus action?
Yeah.
If you choose to use it.
Bonus action. Shit. Is a. So does that count as a spell? The
Preserve life does not. No, that is a channel divinity. So you still have a spell to use. You still have your mace up technically, but
right, yeah,
currently locked within the room.
Yeah, that was that all when they were too. It was like, okay, so bonus action. Gonna spell it up. Let's see. Let's do. This here mass healing word on everybody in the room.
Nice.
Gilbrand's missing that sad face.
Oh yeah. Thank you for remembering that. Everyone but Goldbrand, including Felogolas, I think, actually, can take 17 points of heal. Is that 6 targets? What is that?
This one, double check.
I think mass healing words is 6 targets.
Right, one's a target count and one's like a shape. I forget which is which. This was, what was this mass? This is 6.
6 creatures? So you can heal everybody but Goldbrand, and if you choose to, you can also heal Felogolas.
Yeah, definitely.
Excellent. He appreciates that. Alright, that brings us to Davos.
Wait, how many was that again?
17. Devin, what's Davos got?
I'm sorry, I was looking at Goldbrand's options to get some healing. So, Davos will... They're locked in the room. Davos will go ahead and cast Lay on Hands on himself to give him 15 more hit points. That takes an action.
Makes him 53?
Yeah, sorry. And then he doesn't really have anything he can do with this bonus action, but I know that Brandon would talk. Like he would want to know what is the plan. So he's going to ask Felogolas, how many of them giants do you think you can take at a time?
Felogolas, I'm in pretty rough shape, but I can hold my own for at least a little while, but we really should get out. There's more that are probably coming. This place is crawling with them. Unless you killed a dozen or so on your way down here, then we've got company.
Yeah, we didn't do that.
I'll call Tajin. And I like to think Davos takes out the sending stone.
You've technically used it for the day.
Oh no! Oh, but they're nearby.
Close enough.
We have a ride, but they. Oh god, I don't even wouldn't know how to. Yeah.
You would know that you still need the conch.
I was gonna say we never got the conch.
Yeah, we didn't.
I guess they tell him we have to kill those 2 at least and take Sansuri with us at the very minimum. But that's probably all he can do for his turn. Like, I don't know.
He'll say, I'll take care of Sansuri. I've been wanting to do this for months now. As we round to the air elemental, you feel that established telepathic connection. It's lingering just a bit from your message. And you hear it almost whisper. You are the vessel of many spirits. I cannot exist without some type of anchor to bind myself to. If you are Sansuri's enemy, I will gladly join your cause. You are muted if you're talking.
I am muted. Thank you for letting me know. I want to turn around and give it a hug.
You go right through it, but the gesture's nice at least.
Yeah, it's like a spirit man hug.
So you reach out, and there's this bit of recognition, almost like when you reached out to hug your father, and as he embraced you, he just sunk into the spirit of your father, I should say. He sunk into your chest. And it's similar where, as you embrace it, you feel your lungs swell. And that same rush of energy that you got as each of those spirits renewed their support of you, you feel empowered, emboldened, a little more magic flowing through your veins. I'm going to add something to your character sheet, but while I'm doing that, Fulfran.
Yeah, so there's several things on my mind. I wish I could drink the giant potion, but I cannot.
It takes a whole minute to quaff.
Yeah, it's awful. So if I were feeling better, Goldbrand would tell Felogolas that he can handle a giant himself. But that does not seem to be the case. At this moment, I'm missing a good bit of health.
He'll say, oh, I see.
So I can't. So what I think we need to do is make sure you don't kill hers. We can fly ourselves out, and he'll look at the rest of the group. We need to get back to the animals and get the fucks out of here with hers. There were a lot of fucking cloud giants on the other floors.
There is a new feature on the bottom of your feats tab. You'll check that out.
Goldbrand's gonna drink.
Felogolas will say, I can open this up and grab hold of her. If nothing else, I can hold her to the fire, literally, and weaken her down a bit. She is a selfish creature, self-preserving. I imagine if we can get her in a critical enough state, she'll call off her guards.
Sounds like a plans to me. I cannot frontline very well. Well, I'm going to take... Apparently, we still have one greater healing potion, so I'm going to take that for my action.
Okay. You still have a bonus action as we round to Pandora.
I need to smack something. Can I hit myself?
Make an unarmed strike against yourself. Yeah. Punches himself on the jaw. Or you could hit a cage and try to break it.
Oh, Goldbrand will go hit the Sphinx's cage.
Good call.
Hold on.
The Wyvern still does not seem
I'm sorry.
quite happy.
I can't attack as a bonus action. Fuck.
I can unlock this thing.
It's only a bonus action to drink a potion, so you still have your action. You're good.
I'm sorry. Well, do I get both attacks then?
Yeah, make 2 swings. You've got to hit a pretty high AC. I think it's a 20. I'll double check.
Perfect.
Boom, boom. Yeah, do your damage.
Plus rage damage, because that's the whole point of this. So 4 total.
Oh, fantastic. You go up to it, and with the first cleave of the scythe, you tear through like 4 of the bars, and with the second one, you just slice through the front to where the entire door just collapses. And while you guys have seen this figure as a lion, now that it sort of takes a step out, you do see that it is a beautiful creature. Lion in face, wings of an enormous ingle, solid white fur, and an ornate gold and obsidian crown. Its eyes are solid white with a very deep wisdom with them. It does not seem to respond verbally or by any other means at the moment. I'm also going to drop an image in here of what the spooky whirlwind spirit looks like. What's all the force for, Devin?
My healing.
I got you.
Yeah.
Pandora, you know that Felogolas is about to burst open the door and try to snatch up Sansuri. What do you do?
Well, we've still got this wyvern here, right?
Indeed.
I imagine she could ride it like a large dog.
You make a insight or animal handling check for me.
See, oh damn, my animal handling is terrible.
They're pretty big. They're like horse-sized.
Yeah, they're large
My
creatures.
wisdom is terrible.
Good.
Yeah, 8.
8. Looks friendly.
God, I don't like the way you said that.
Friendly.
Do with that what? It looks like, I mean, it's a big red dragon buddy. It can't be, it's just like your other big red dragon buddy.
That's why I'm so
possibly
attracted
go
to it,
wrong?
and I feel like if I free it, it would at least appreciate that, you know.
If you can get there, and I think you can.
I got
5,
the
10,
zoomies, don't
15,
worry.
20, 25. Oh, you're right. Yeah, you can get there. Make a sleight of hand check.
We'll see.
This is lower than the Felogolas chains.
But I'm gonna be making kissy piss like cat noises at it. Like hello, buddy.
24. The door pops open, and immediately the wyvern crashes into it. Actually knocks you back a bit, snarling, snapping, very much feral. As we round to Ark.
Oh, shit.
Handle your buddy here, Ark.
And Ark, I'll say you can make an insight or animal handling check with advantage. Do you need us to roll that for you, bud?
Yeah, go ahead.
I can roll it.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, I got it up. You said animal handling or investigate.
Or insight. They're the same for him. They're both a +0. So
Better than mine.
no, yeah. Roll 2 of them for me, either or.
All right, let me. Oh, I thought I could roll them. It's not letting me pull it up. It's got it up here, but it won't let me roll. So
I
someone
got
else
you.
will have to.
Oh, 17.
Excellent. 17's good.
Yeah, let's do
Ark,
it.
you know what wyverns? You know they're they are wild creatures. They are not easy to tame. And they very much deal with a hierarchical system within their groups. There is always an alpha.
We got to be the alpha
for
turkey.
lack of a better word.
I
You
can
can
multiply
try.
that.
You can make an athletics check to try to intimidate this, and see if you can exert your dominance over it. Don't like the way that sounded. Okay.
If someone wants to roll.
Dominate
please.
these.
I got something for you.
Well,
14. That is not quite high enough. It is
I need
still
Felogolas
snarling
to do
and
something.
snapping. I'll still. I'm
Does it not see this giant fucking dragon in here?
It does, but it has not had its. You get the sense it knows that it's not as strong as a dragon, but it doesn't seem to respect any of you with the same regard.
No, I was saying I'm gonna use my dominable maybe and re-roll that a little bit.
No, go ahead. Yeah.
Because my strength is my strongest.
There we
fucking
go.
20. Ark, you come up, exhaling burst of flame, this growl building within the back of your truck, and you just bellow at it, and the wyvern pulls back, hesitant, and as you stop, subsides, subservient,
Hell yeah.
no longer aggressive, apprehensive, definitely, but definitely recognizes you as a cut above it.
I like this one.
Excellent. Fucking roll.
That was fucking cool.
That
You
was
teach
cool
me
as
to
shit.
do that?
About that time, you hear the doors rattle as something seems to be bombarding it from the other side.
Ugh. I don't like those rolls.
Felogolas is pushed back a little bit as one of the doors cracks open. 2 more. Okay, another shove back. The door is agape, not quite fully open, and you see the two cloud giants are up against it, trying to force their way through. Having misty stepped through the wall, wasting their misty step, which is not bad. As we go to Sansuri, she sees the gap between the wall, and she's actually going to conjure. It's very similar to a spiritual weapon. This is Mordenkainen's sword. Is that right? I renamed it Sansuri's sword, but I think it is normally Mordenkainen's sword. And it's going to go for a slash onto Felogolas. Let's add a +7 to this. A nat 20! Oh, fuck!
Damn.
32 points of damage. Felogolas is looking pretty battered. He's in the 25% territory.
Yikes.
They are together pushing against this door, trying to burst their way in. Zarok, there is a moment to act. What do you do?
Oh,
You're muted again. Don't leave me in suspense.
Dadgummit. Keeps double muting myself. The door is sort of cracked. Can I see both of them through it? Is it just the one I can sort of see in that gap there?
I would say... Oh, whoops. Did not mean to move him. I would say you could see one or the other, but probably not both simultaneously.
I'm thinking if I moved up, right? So like if I try to get sort of under him and peek through the door space.
It's a little dangerous in that area, but yeah.
I'm just gonna get like right here directly under the dragon, because what I want to do is I want to use Pulse Wave and try to sort of shoot a cone back out through the door at these guys.
Yeah. That's force damage? Is that right?
Yes, and
Drop it into chat for me, like the whole thing.
Okay.
And... Are you pushing or pulling?
Gonna be pushing. And so my idea was to kind of cast it back through the opening they had created at them without blasting the doors open to an extent.
No, that is fantastic. They're both gonna make that con save. That was a con save, right?
Yeah, it's Constitution save.
Yep.
Their con's pretty high, but let's see how it rolls.
Woo!
Oh, 1! Excellent. Well, that one is gonna take the full 66. In fact, for the nat 1, we're gonna say it does max damage. He's gonna take 36 points.
Alright,
Nice.
The other one passes with a 16.
Zeke,
What's your spell save DC?
it is, I mean,
16. I see it now.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's good. It does take half of that. It is not pushed. Let me click her. Quit clicking the other one. But it's funny because you actually push him through the fire. What damage does that do?
Baby.
Do it. Fuck yeah. What's the damage on that?
What did we roll earlier? Are we just gonna keep that, or do we need to roll again?
24.
25. We'll just keep that. For simplicity's sake. That fire giant is in battered territory, and the force of the wave not only pushes him back and damages the woman, it helps slam the doors back shut. Now it is about to be Felogolas' turn. And he goes, "Good fucking show, lad." And he pushes forward and smashes the doors open. He's gonna fly over the wall, and he's gonna get to Sansuri. He's gonna try to make a grapple on her.
Yeah.
Oh, he rolled low.
Oh, no.
She doesn't have proficiency in strength saving throws. She has to beat a. Oh, actually, let me double check his. Bronze.
Man, should have went with him. Sad face.
Oh, she only got a 10. He barely passes. He got a 12 total.
Dicks.
He grapples onto her. And he is going to use a bit of his movement, since he still has some, to drag her to the fire, himself taking a bit of that damage, as both of them roast for 25 points. She is in rough shape. He is in rough shape.
Oh no, my dragon friend.
Yeah, this man is not afraid. This dragon is not afraid.
He's been, you guys know he's been here for months. You see, now that he's out and about and you can see behind, he is covered in at least 100 of these wounds that are in various states of healing. Some of them callous and infected, some of them freshly bleeding from the interrogation you interrupted. He is furious with her. I think... Oh, it's a 2, never mind. That'll be his turn. Bergen, doors are open. Sansuri's to the flame. What do you got?
I was really hoping to be able to heal him before he went out the door like that, but...
You got the zoomies.
The bloodlust.
Dragon zoomies.
Dragon.
The doomies.
The dude.
How How does everybody look, generally speaking, in here? I hate to ask that question. I wish I had a way of keeping track of everybody's health.
I am like right
I'm
as
alright.
rain.
I'm not bad.
Davos is a little less than half health, about half health.
I'm as
Gold
healthy as I
Excuse
was when
me.
the fight
Davos
started.
is more than half health.
I'm
What was
full.
that, Z?
Yeah, I'm more
I'm
than
about
that.
as healthy as I was when we started. Not full health, but I'm doing largely okay.
Alright, and Goldbrand, you're
Goldbrand-
probably
Well,
alright.
Goldbrand is
Vogel-
bloodied. A
Bloody-
little less.
Oh, I
than
can't do it.
Vogelus
I
is
can't do
bloodied.
anything. Can't do anything to
Yeah,
help.
you
Goldbrand.
can't do anything.
Oh,
for me.
yeah.
Yeah.
Belgalus is between bloodied and battered. He's
Yeah.
near the 20% mark, but
He's the one I want to get to the most, but I gotta get through 2 giants and a wall of fire to get there. So
Technically, you
I
don't
like to
have
think you were just about to reach him before he flew up, and he's like, oh, okay,
yeah,
right.
I would
guess
say
you could-
technically you don't have to get through the wall of fire, but you would have to get the door open and past at least one of the giants standing outside of it, because he's at an angle
Yeah.
where you could get him from the door, but
You could toss a bonus action healing word at him if you had one and smite one of the other two. Not smite, but strike one of the other two giants.
Mason.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. That, or I could maybe bless him from here. Give him
Advantage on his stuff.
rolls.
Yeah. I might
alright.
toss him the healing almost because of the firewall. I don't know if he has
Yeah.
resistance or not, but I don't know how long he can stand in that.
He
Yeah.
does not seem to have fire resistance. You saw him breathing lightning. You would gather he has resistance to lightning, but not to other things.
Let's see.
Yeah.
It's actually what Davos can do, funny enough.
Breathe lightning.
Sort of.
Choo!
Yeah.
All right. What you got, Bergie?
Yeah, I'm going to hit him with this. Oh, I might have to move a little closer to reach.
That's a
him.
mass healing word. That hits up to 6 targets.
Yeah, but it's the same slot for the other thing that I could hit him with. That's not as much, but I don't think anybody else would be in range technically from the way it's. Hold on, let me read this.
You may have to move to the door or very close up to it to get him.
Is it within 60 feet of you or a 60-foot like area?
60 feet of me, up to 6 creatures. So yeah, I could hit everybody else with this again too. Yeah,
Except-
fuck it. Boop.
no,
Okay.
he has to pass
Everyone.
through the
Except
door,
Goldbrand.
right?
Except Goldbrand.
You can't
Yeah, step
cast it on things he can't see, right? Like he would have to essentially peek through the door.
Well, the door
it's
is now
the-
busted open. When Belgalus came through it, he
Oh,
pushed
duh.
it.
Yeah.
It had been being pushed inward, and your propulsion wave let him shut it again, and then he just kept that momentum going and pushed all the way through. So now they're open on the other side. Technically, this bitch probably got whacked by the door, but we're not gonna. Excellent. You still have an action.
Yeah, action, shooty mace at fucking the dude in the fire.
Get him. 20. Yeah, excellent. 13 points of damage. Wallop some good. Fantastic. Davos the Dawnbringer. What we got?
Davos over here gonna be like, praise the sun, bitch. 5, 10, 15, 20. He's gonna move up to right here and use his Javelin of Lightning. Can he strike all 3 of them, or just Sansuri
It's
and
a
one more?
5. I was about to say Sansuri and 1, I think, because they're side by side. It's kind of hard to get them both in a straight line. But, no, yeah, what's the save on that? Dex?
Yeah, so can I pick, or do I have to hit the purple one? It looks like from where I'm standing, I
I'll
might
let you,
hit the purple one.
I'll let you pick either or.
Then I will take that one because it's not standing in fire. And Sansuri. Take the gold one.
First
whatever it
one is Sansuri.
Give me a second to find this Javelin of Lightning.
15. Does that pass his save?
Let's find out. Oh, is it his or is it on the item? It's a 13 dex save.
Okay, so she passes the dex save, but she does get hit by the damage. So it's half. So she takes 10. She is in rough shape. She's at 25. I shouldn't have said that specific number, but she's hurting. And you wanted to hurt the female giant, is that correct?
Yeah, that was who I wanted to get
She
in the
only takes
lightning
the 10.
blast.
Okay. She's about bloodied. The man is looking battered. He has a bonus action.
No, not that I'm. Nah, not close enough smite, not anything like that. Can't heal. I think he's gonna. I think he's gonna stay right there for this turn. He might move maybe. Oh, that weapon is still there. He'll move the rest of his movement just to move the other side of Z here.
And actually, Pandora, go ahead and go. I'm going to look at that weapon because I think she has to be able to see her attack target.
Did you skip Goldbro?
Oh, did it reset at the top again?
I think so.
Yeah,
I'm
they
sorry.
said go run.
Yeah. My apologies, dude. Go ahead.
If I hadn't seen it on the turn tracker, I don't think I would have noticed. 5, 10, 15,
annoying.
20, 25. Still raging. Yeah, here we go. I don't even have to step out. Man. Hold on 1 second. 30, 35, 40, 45.
Sounds like you're going to get some opportunity attacks.
I mean, does here leave anybody's range? That's the very edge of my movement speed.
You have to go through the wall, but no.
Yeah, but I can get
You're
to
in the middle of
Sansuri,
it,
right?
Well, hang on, man. Look at
But
where
if I get through Sansuri, all I really want to do is get to her and smack the shit out of her.
I mean,
If the whole goal is to get her run down as low as possible,
you know, look at the
She's about
definition of
there.
spell, right? Because you have to move through the wall, but you're also ending your turn within 10 feet of it. I don't know what that means for you.
I feel like it would
That's
be...
a good point.
Part of me wants to say it would double tap. Like, you would take damage as you move through it and as you left in it. However, dropping concentration is a free action. I would say that you could use your reaction Z to do that if you would like to, as he does this.
I may actually do that because at this point, if we're advancing combat forward, I don't see any reason to give us the breathing room anymore. This was more like a distractionary thing to give us space.
Oh, yeah.
At this point, I'm down to drop it right as he sort of moves through it. Do it cinematically, like he lunges through the wall of fire.
Before him.
It's crazy.
You raise up your arms to dismiss the wall, and you feel this extra gust of air come behind you, and it sort of blows through this channel that Goldbrand steps through, walking beneath the two giants, scythe in hand. He weaves and bobs as they try to strike, but to no avail. The flames, still illuminating the room, backlight you as you approach Sansuri with the scythe.
I like the slow walk.
Heavy
That's a good
metal.
touch. Yeah.
Goldbrand, make an intimidation check. Use your athletics.
Okay.
That's pretty bad. That's like a fucking thing. And she's her 25. I was gonna say if you beat her hit point total, you get it. Do you know what her fucking hit point total is?
25. You said it earlier.
Fantastic. You come through, and Sansuri sees you looking as if a reaper. And given the fact that she is battered to fucking shit, yeah. Fine, stop. Whatever he wants, just call him off.
Send your guards
still
away
you.
first.
Done. And she waves her hand. They both look a little confused, but seem to be making their way out.
I just put together who I think they are.
Felogolas, please hold her.
Gladly. Grips a little tighter. In fact, I'll say extra 6 points of damage.
The squeeze.
Oh, in fact, let me also... Okay. Goldbrand, you've effectively taken us out of combat. Sansuri lies gripped within the dragon. The two giants apprehensively withdraw. What do you do?
My brother here would like to strike a deals with yous. And that's how when he would point at Davos, because Goldbrand's not good at lying. I don't know.
So, like I was
I
saying,
don't- that's pretty no. I don't really know how to. I've never tried to be Davos, but I think he would begin negotiations for getting the conch. What Goldbrand wanted to say was the only way you're getting out of this alive is enlist our requirements. but Goldbrand's going to kill her no matter what. So I don't know about Davos. But...
Davos probably does want to too. He knows how big an issue these people are. All right. Davos comes up. All right. We want one thing. Well, we want many things, but we're gonna start with one. The conch. And she goes, I would have to go to my quarters to retrieve it.
Not quite.
I will.
Do we have a little
Tell
chest?
me where it is, and I'll go get it.
Well, no,
Yes,
we
plenty of
have
soda.
it.
You pop forward the little chest, and she grimaces. Her face, well, partially covered by this mask, you can see beneath it, like, she is bloodied. Parts of her flesh has been torn away. You see, like, part of her cheekbone. Like, she is in rough shape. And she sneers a bit. You've been within my quarters? Looting like bandits?
I'm carrying one of your fucking masks.
Living like cowards, baby.
Oh, you'll excuse me, I'm partially blind from being lightning bolted in the fucking face.
That's what happens when you torture a dragon.
Like to
Right,
picture
though.
Davos like pulling it out, like takes that moment to like retrieve it.
He hands the chest to her, and she grips it, and she looks at you, looks at Felogolas, and she swirls her hand above it. And this chest is made of fine wood inlaid with gold. It's very beautiful. It doesn't open. It's non-functional. But as she does, a replica of this chest, much, much larger, appears before you. She says, take the conch. And as you open it, you do see the conch. You will also see 500 platinum pieces.
Damn.
Ooh.
Four platinum bracelets worth 750 gold.
Ooh.
A gold necklace with an amethyst in it the size of a fist worth 7,500 gold pieces.
Jesus Christ.
And a diamond encrusted diadem, also worth 7,500 gold pieces.
Pandora is like salivating.
Yeah, you see, before you guys joined, I would have asked you guys just take the conch or do y'all take the booty. I don't need to ask you guys.
I know.
No.
Find this.
I'm gonna drop that in your bag of holding. No, not as a thing. That's ugly, but I'll fix it later. You guys clear it out, and she looks. There, are you happy? Now leave me be.
What hold do you have over the youth Gartiers?
And we agreed that in exchange for their services, I would not raid their stand. Was trying to collect the Austorian artifacts, find more of the times gone by. Working to unravel the mysteries of the Nightstone. I need to bring back my sister, and that is the only way to do it. Surely you have felt loss. Surely you have lost someone that you have felt to be irreplaceable. With the secrets I have unraveled in this.
I know what Goldbrand wants to say, but I don't think I'm going to say it because I don't think we're done with her yet.
With the secrets I have unraveled from this, I can bring them back. I'm so close to making a breakthrough.
Well, if anyone else has anything they want to say to her, say it now.
I literally just want you to shut her up. I got the shiny. We're good.
Yeah.
So you're saying we
I
could
want
bring
the
people back
castle
to
first
life
needs
with
to be
the
gone.
nights?
I don't know. Could I,
Yeah, that is what she said.
in that
If
moment,
you asked that. Go ahead, Josh.
in that moment, I do kind of want to move up, and I want to say, you think that justifies trapping spirits, the dead, to this realm when they have no business being here, slaves to you?
I had to explore the limitations of the Nightstone. No one has ever bound an elemental to this plane in such a way and brought its spirit back after killing it. This is uncharted territory, magic beyond anything we previously thought available. This stone can bring back people can bring back people in any manner I desire, as corpses that are animated, as spirits, as true resurrection.
I kind of look down upon her, and I'm like, if there was any humanity left inside of your being, it's clearly gone.
Any shred of humanity in me would be a disgrace. I am a giantess, and it is our heirloom. The Nightstone was created by giants, for giants. You have no claim to it whatsoever.
Yeah, you're a giant cunt.
Oh.
Oh,
Man, God, I just want to Fucking
Cringes at the word cunt. I just think she's one of the.
like dumb.
Conquest.
That's my favorite pirate word.
Conquest is its own right. Take heart. You will be with your sister soon. And, well, Goldbrand would start swinging, but he also kind of wants Fegolas to do it. So Goldbrand raises his scythe. If
Legolas
at this point,
will
I
ask
think
if he...
No, that one.
Legolas will ask, all right, lads, any further questions? And so he goes, wait, if you spare me, I can provide you with information.
Fight her head off.
What kind of information could you have that we would possibly need?
I know of Hecaton. I know parts of what has happened to him. If you want the conch, then you must seek him.
I like to think Goldbrand acts at its highest point. You know about the things in the waters.
Slockwithan. You know much.
Goldbrand goes like this at the party, like waiting for her to
vomit some more.
What the fucks? No one say that, he says to the new people.
Be careful though, because people on the bridge of death and the threat of death might say anything that's going to keep us from killing them. So take it with a grain of salt.
Make an insight check, Barbara, on that comment.
Let's see, where is my insight? Which is -1.
I mean,
God, that's what I rolled last time.
the only thing that's stopping me from obliterating her with a spell right now is that Goldbrand mentioned it might be polite to let the dragon finish the job.
No, I want to see the dragon eat, like, chomp her face. That's what I'm cheering for.
Sounds like that's our decision.
Man, I can't think of anything else to ask her.
Nothing she said matters to me. If it means anything to anybody else of import, then
I think at this point she's just too dangerous to leave alive. Like, and plus, you know, I need her dead because it frees my tribe.
Do you have Davos's sheet up, Devin?
Yeah.
Roll an intelligence check for me, or investigation, I guess would be better for this. Roll higher than a 12. Good job. All right. Davos goes, wait. She used the stone? She brought that thing back with it? Pointing to the elemental.
Yes.
Does she... I mean, we don't know anything about how to use this. Should we... I don't know, pry information out about that? I don't know if she knows anything about Hecaton to make it worth it to try to spare her. Of course, we could always say we're going to spare her and, you know...
That this the plans, music mans.
Davos will flourish his coat and all right. Tell us what you know about the stone, about Hecaton, about all of it.
Goran will put his weapon
and
away.
We will release you. Have Davos make a deception check. She's gonna make an insight check against it.
Thanks.
She has pretty solid bonus in this. 15.
Damn.
She looks at him. Do you think I'm a fool?
Yes.
At that moment, Felogolas raises her up, opens his mouth wide, puts her head within his mouth, doesn't bite down. You watch as his neck glows. The building of electricity begins arcing off of his teeth onto the cages all around you as he blasts her down into nothing. You watch as the flesh is peeled from her. The wisps of cloud that make up her hair are eradicated, and she is reduced to bone and to ash and to soot on the floor.
I love dragon carnage. Yeah.
He looks over at you. I've been waiting fucking months to do that.
Uthgard, witness him.
Just kind of bellows in the air.
Upon hearing this, the door to the north opens, and 5 giants, the 2 that you were fighting earlier, and 3 of reinforcements, having heard Sansuri cry out, race in.
Times to go.
You're next.
Bogus is like, I can carry a couple of you, but you'll need to, at least 2 or 3 of you will need to find your own way up.
Is this wyvern that we just released, is it big enough for me to ride?
One person can ride the wyvern.
We have
I
3
wonder
mounts
why-
with us too. That are in this. Well, I thought we landed in this area.
Oh, you're correct. They are in this area. With that, there is one creature you guys haven't interacted with. I'll mention this before you go. The Sphinx.
Oh, the Sphinx. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
If
someone
you-
can ride it too.
Well, you haven't interacted with it as of yet.
Cat, talk cat to it.
I just
Can,
go give it the chin scritchings.
Can I just
As you-
unlock the cage?
Goldbrain cut the cage open earlier, I think.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
The Sphinx locks onto you and it's like, for my freedom, I will aid you in your escape. But I owe you no loyalty beyond that.
Oh, we can't be kitty friend meow meow buddies.
Make a persuasion or an animal handling check with advantage because you kind of did free it.
Let's see. It should be rolling. Hold on, give it a second to think. 21.
21, excellent. We will see if you prove worthy. You guys get on your collective mounts, and with Felogolas, burst through this chamber. Shooting off spells, spears and javelins flying past you as you swoop out Lyn Armaal and head toward the roof. You see as the Westwind Wyvern comes around from a large pillar of cloud, begins firing cannons, peppering the ballista and the giants up on the floors above that are firing on it. Felogolas says, "Do you have anything that we need to grab before we go?"
Can you carry the Nightstones?
He looks at it. Not far.
2 Nightstones? Which is not terribly... Well, we can hide somewhere.
You're multiple days away from
That's fine.
Nightstone.
Let's just get that.
He grabs onto it, and he shatters in the glass, the notes that Sansuri had made falling as shards of glass all around. He grips the stone, and he beats his wings heavily. It's very difficult for him to lift. He goes, I can't get far. I need to make it lighter or something.
Can I cast my density thing to help him
You
out?
certainly can. Yeah, you do your adjust density. You fire off an arrow, and as you do, it's almost like the resistance not disappeared, but lessened significantly. He jerks it a bit, and he looks at you like he sees the arrow. He sees your bow encrusted in amethyst. Smiles a bit.
Wink at him.
Damn neat trick. And he manages to fly up and get it aboard the Westwind Wyvern, and peppers off a few blasts of lightning as the Westwind Wyvern begins to make its retreat, firing cannon as it does. The castle of Lyn Armaal thrown into chaos.
Yeah.
Shots are fired, and a few of them pepper your ship, none of them dealing enough damage to stop your escape. And you realize now that you're on the outside that it does not move quickly. It is not nearly as fast as your ship. And before long, you guys manage to pull away from the chaos from the clash with the Countess.
Hell yeah.
That's awesome.
Not bad for your first times fucking shits ups.
Indeed.
I'd say we're professionals.
Yeah.
You all act like it.
We're gonna do one more thing before we go. The crew of the Western Wyvern is overjoyed to see Felogolas, and Nissa, the cleric aboard the ship, the one who's the navigator, begins tending to some of his wounds. He says, "All right, lads, I owe you a life debt for that. Anywhere you choose to go, I will follow you into the 9 hells if I must, but I need to get some things situated. I've been there for weeks. I need to check on a few contacts, make sure my hoard hasn't been disturbed. Bring you a donation. Tell me, where you are the Lords of Nightstone, yes. We met it in Zephyros' castle. I know the place. And I see that you have regained your centerpiece. It is good. She cannot come into power with this. I will rest for the night, but tomorrow I must... One more time?
I was just like, she can't come into power at all. She's dead.
You're right, yeah.
Murked.
He says, I'll rest for the night here with you, but then I must depart.
My dragon friend.
Yeah, as far as we're concerned, you're dragons. You can do whatever the fuck you want.
Damn fucking rights I can. Barbara, the Sphinx, milky white eyes, a deep wisdom, intimidating almost. communicating with you through telepathy.
Oh yeah.
I thank you for liberating me. And as such, will grant you an opportunity to earn my favor.
Ooh. I want a Sphinx's favor.
If you can solve my riddles 3.
Oh fuck.
And I'll tell you how we're going to do this. I'll read you the riddle. If you guess it, or if somebody in the party can guess it, great, you pass. If not, you get to make a check to see if you pass anyway.
Okay.
The first was my answer to Sansuri when she asked what I knew of the Nightstone. What is greater than the gods? More evil than devils? The poor have it, the rich need it, and if you eat it, you'll die.
Hold on.
What is greater than the gods? More evil than devils? The poor have it,
Right.
the rich need it, and if you eat it, you'll die.
Nothing.
I'll drop nothing indeed. One success for Madame Barbara.
Hey.
Madame Pandora. Excellent.
I'm like, pirates are great with riddles, man.
You know what you have to do in between fucking raiding ships? Fucking nothing. We do this shit all the time.
Oh yeah, stories, riddles, jokes, songs.
The second riddle. The man who built it doesn't want it. The man who bought it doesn't need it. The man who needs it doesn't know it.
I know this one.
The man who invented it. I mean, if you want to answer that one.
I think it's a coffin.
Wait, the one.
Indeed, a coffin.
Oh,
The man who built the coffin does not want to be in it. The man who bought it doesn't need it. And the man who needs it, you don't fucking know it.
Right. Makes sense.
The third riddle. To keep this, you must first give it to another. To keep this, you must first give it to another.
It's a secret.
What?
Is it a secret?
Secret? No, but that's a very good guess.
Um,
They'll go, not entirely, but that is a good. I'll accept some brownie points for it. But
some brownie points. If you are to keep it, you must first.
Is it
give
your word?
Yeah, your.
your word, excellent, Devin Green. 2 out of 3. Look at you.
That last one made my
Oh,
brain
you fucking
itch.
beat me to it.
Indeed, to keep your word, you must first give it to another. And I give you my word, Pandora Siren's Bane, and I will be at your aid for as long as I am.
Oh hell yeah! Same, little homie.
Congratulations, you 3 just unlocked your new mounts. Z, you can ride this whirlwind as if it were a creature. Pandora, the Sphinx, and Ark, the Wyvern.
Oh hell yeah!
Boy.
So I'll send you guys some stuff about stat blocks and stuff. Excellent work tonight, all around. I realized about 40 minutes ago we never took a break. We were just balls to the wall the whole fucking time.
I can't believe we got the whole thing done. Like that's crazy.
Well, I thought if the banishment worked, or if you guys somehow stalled enough to get Felogolas out, that it was all downhill from there. Like he would, if y'all didn't stop him, he was gonna burn her into the fucking dirt. But you have retrieved the Nightstone, you have the conch, you got a good bit of fucking booty. All in all, a fucking win.
Joey, I was gonna say the last campaign I think we ran, I can't remember the one with I'm trying to remember. It was the last one because I played
the one with Jordana.
No, yeah, because it was the one I played as a cleric, and
Red Hand of Doom, I think.
Yeah, and I fucking stole a Sphinx in that one too. I befriended a Sphinx.
Did you
there.
really?
Yeah, because the whatever the Lich or whatever at the end of her killed it, and I got so
right
upset.
at the end. No, yeah.
Yeah, but I saved
That
one
was-
then too.
That's probably one of the big ones.
Right the fuck on. Oh, and I will say, for the spirit of it, the Wyvern and the Sphinxes are technically like an 18 challenge rating. They're hella strong. So these are reduced versions of those. I'm not going to give you a super powerful creature, but you've got something that's neat. But with that, my dudes, thank you again for joining us tonight. I hope you all enjoyed this clash with the Countess. Fantastic. I am thrilled with how everything turned out.
Get my booty stomped.
Indeed.
That was
Yeah,
intense.
that was round.
I don't think Barbara made a shot the whole time, actually. I think she was literally just picking locks the entire time.
I was handy.
As it should be.
Handy.
Please, be good to yourselves. Don't forget to love one another. And is it Friday yet?
Bye.
Later.
Deuces, my dudes.